Dance, in terms of Valérien Ismaël, I feel like when he arrived in the Championship, he had such a clear style of play, terrific season with Barnsley, high pressing, really aggressive. It didn't really work out for him at West Brom, it didn't really work out for him at Watford, and it felt to me as if those teams almost lost that identity that made Barnsley such a good team under him.
I think that's why they struggled initially when he came into Blackburn, because they'd lost John Eustace. It felt bad. The fans were very disappointed that Eustace had gone to Derby, so it's going to be tough on anybody coming in to replace a manager the fans didn't want to see leave. And Ismaël struggled at first, but you just sensed towards the end of last season, 4 wins and a draw in their last 5 got them very close to the playoffs in the end after all the struggles, and just made you think that there was something in what he was doing that the players were starting to buy into. Now, I do find it interesting, Ollie, that Yuki Ohashi is still preferred as the main striking threat, because a player like Matt Targay is tailor-made for the sort of aggressive, direct style of play that Valérien Ismaël prefers. Ohashi's more of a live wire, sort of a quicksilver player, nips in between centre halves, whereas Gay's a genuine target man and a good physical specimen too. So I'm intrigued to see how they go about their business this afternoon, if they do go direct, or if there's, if we're sort of underselling Valérien Ismaël a little bit and there's more to his tactical approach than we've said before.
I know it's the most unpredictable league in the world, and I know this is a really tough question, but I can't seem to put my finger on Blackburn after finishing 7th last time out. If you had to call it now, Dance, where do you think they finish this season?
Top half, maybe.
That's a big 6-foot fence you're sitting on.
I know.
Come down.
I hate answering those questions when we're not even in the middle of August, let alone the end of August when the window's shut. So much business can be done to either augment or completely strip away what you've got. What we were just talking about 5 minutes ago with West Brom and what might happen to them over the next few weeks is if Hegem and Fellows are spirited away, how, they might give West Brom funds, and they're in a far better financial position under new ownership than they were before. But what can they do? How do they plug those holes? So with Blackburn, having lost Dolan, having lost Rankin Costello and various others, they've plugged the holes, it seems. They've made 6 signings so far. So we'll just have to see, first of all, how those players assimilate. There's a lot of a buzz around Axel Henriksen as an attacking midfielder, as a number 10. So we'll see what he can do and whether he's a genuine box-to-box midfielder. But that's, you've got 2 new members of the back 4 as well. Certainly Ribeira's not that much football, but Alabiosu and Sean McLaughlin coming in from Hull haven't had much football together. So what's the understanding like in these early stages between all these new defenders? Blackburn, I wouldn't have had them top half last season, so they did better than I expected to finish 7th. And let's not forget they were only 2 points behind Bristol City at the end of it all.
They are the visitors today to the Hawthorns, which is filling up very nicely indeed. It looks like a packed house, plenty of new shirts as well on display, plenty of new season nerves. And Perry Groves, we've talked about how big this job is for Ryan Mason, but in terms of this game, this first impression as well, it's really important not just to try and get a result today, but I think to put in a performance that's going to get some of those fans off their seats.
Yeah, very much so. It sets the tone. With your new manager, you want your players to buy into your footy as quickly as possible. There's no better way of doing that by winning your first home game. Obviously got Derby coming up in the League Cup as well, so as a manager you can ask for better starts to the season, and then we'll see just have the rapturous round of applause from all the West Brom fans, with the hope and expectation they've got. And the one thing that Ryan Mason kept saying, he kept saying about pride and aggression. And he knows that his team have to be aggressive in the first 20 minutes here today. But both sets of players, after the first 20 minutes, we're breathing out their backside, because the pace of the game is far, far greater than what it is in any game they've played in pre-season.
Perry, thanks very much indeed. The teams are out at the Hawthorns. Don't forget, there's so much live football on the way for you on the Talksport network. Following this game on Talksport 2, it's Sheffield United against Bristol City from Bramall Lane. A 5:30 start for that one. Tomorrow, we're at Wembley for the Community Shield. The champions Liverpool take on the FA Cup winners Crystal Palace. That one kicks off at 3. over on Talksport, and then there's Championship action later that afternoon on Talksport 2 as Leicester kick off their campaign back in the second tier. They're up against Sheffield Wednesday. But first, can Ryan Mason get the Baggies bouncing back up to the Premier League? Or will Valérien Ismaël spoil the party with his Blackburn Rovers back at his old stomping ground? Let's join your commentary team at the Hawthorns, taking you through the action, the former Arsenal winger Perry Groves, alongside your match commentator, Ian Danton.
Thank you, Ollie, and a very good afternoon to you, wherever and however you're listening to Talksport 2. Welcome to the Hawthorns, which has played host to Championship football for the past 4 seasons now. West Bromwich Albion ended up just 4 points off the playoffs last season in 9th. Visitors Blackburn Rovers closer still in 7th, just 2 points shy of Bristol City above them. That's twice in 3 years that the Lancashire club have just fallen short of the post-season January. Their host today did make 5th spot 2 years back, only to lose in the semi-finals to eventual playoff winners Southampton. There's a new kid in town here in the Black Country. Ryan Mason, at just 34 years old, takes his first steps into a full-time management role at the Albion after those caretaker spells at Spurs. Valérien Ismaël in the opposite dugout today was Baggy's boss here for just over half a season back in the 2021-22 campaign before being dismissed. He joined Rovers back in February after a sticky start, finished strongly with 4 wins in 5 to raise hopes that the one-time Premier League winners from 30 years ago now, let's not forget, might have a say in promotion matters this time round. Team news: Ryan Mason's first competitive 11 sees a couple of new faces brought in. Nat Phillips, who arrived from Liverpool, and Arne Hegerberg, who arrived from Norwegian football. They both start in a 4-2-3-1 with Josh Griffiths in goal, Darnell Furlong, Nat Phillips, Torbjorn Heggem and Callum Stars in the back 4, Jason Mulumby and Alex Mowat holding, Tom Fellows, Isaac Price and Karlan Grant behind Arne Hegerberg in attack. As for the visitors, Valérien Ismaël has made 6 summer signings, 4 of them start. It's Balázs Tott in goal, Ryan Alabiosu at right back, Dominic Hyam, Sean McLaughlin and Yuri Ribeiro in their back 4, Lewis Travis and Sondre Tronstad holding in midfield, Ryan Hedges, Axel Hendrickson and Dion Deneuve are in front of Yuki Ahashi, the lead striker. Our referee is David Webb, who took charge of this corresponding fixture back in February when managerless Blackburn got a 2-0 win. And he's ready to get us underway with West Brom in their traditional navy blue and white stripes, getting us underway as we sit high up in the gallery in the Halfords Lane stand here at the Hawthorns, with the dugouts right directly underneath us. West Brom kicking from left to right towards the Smethwick end. Blackburn in their change strip today of the 3rd kit of the mottled yellow shirt, shorts and socks, and they're heading for the Brummie Road end. To our left are Rovers in these early stages. Little touch for Isaac Price, who's tried to guide it down to Tom Fellows, who had such a productive season for West Brom last season. And he's won a throw early on down the right-hand side with 30 seconds gone as we say good afternoon to Perry Groves.
Afternoon, Dan. So just looking at West Brom, we wondered if it were Mowat and Price would play, just like Price is going to be in the 10 and Mowat will be a little bit deeper, one that holding midfield players alongside Mulumby.
Darnell Furlong, the long throw specialist, will immediately hurl a long throw into the penalty area away to our right hand side, gets really good power and pace on it, but it's volleyed away for Blackburn at the back, but comes straight back to Callum Stiles, defending in just over the halfway line, gets it back, and it's a diagonal ball to the left hand corner of the area, helped on, looking to get Karlan Grant into the game, but Alabiosu, the right back, gets it clear. Only as far as Mowat, who hooks it back over his head down the left-hand side. Price giving chase, gets them, prevents it going out for a goal kick, has to put it out for a throw, but good industry from the youngster early on for West Brom, 0-0.
Isaac Price is making sure that he's chasing lost causes. Just looking at Darnell Furlong's long throw dance, I can officially say it is a proper long throw, because that went right into the middle of the 6-yard box and Alabiosu actually volleyed it clear. So Ryan Mason will be saying to his West Brom players, they can't allow a Blackburn defender to volley it clear. They've got to make sure they attack the first ball.
One back for Blackburn by their captain Lewis Travis. Yuri Ribeiro, left back, strides over the halfway line, finds Ahashi, who can't get past a good strong early challenge from Nat Phillips on his debut. so many loan spells away. He's now got a permanent home, having left Liverpool to come to West Brom. 0-0.
Archetypal Lone Ranger, to be fair, isn't he?
He's the littlest hobo, or at least he was.
Took a bit right move if you put out of him.
But it was a good challenge to force a throw. There's a problem with a contact lens for Ahashi early on, I think. Needs to go to the near touch line and maybe get some water in it or something like that. Needs a new contact lens. He's just alerted the coaching staff down beneath him. They're just going to put a bit of solution into his eye, make sure he's all right.
Tell you what, why didn't I use that excuse when I was playing? Every time I run through and missed a 1v1, it's like, no, my contacts just like come loose.
You know, you've got to be smarter than the average bear these days, Perry. So they're temporarily down to 10 men here, Blackburn, whilst Ahashi gets some running repairs. The ball thrown in, and Deneva heads the ball into the area, hooked away strongly by West Bromwich Albion, but it comes back via the head of Dominic Hyam. Had an excellent season for Blackburn last year at the back. Ooh, someone's left a foot in there on Darnell Furlong. Deneva, I think it was. And the referee, David Webb, says it will be a free kick to West Brom, but no more punishment than that, than the free kick, 0-0.
So, yeah, Deneva's very, very lucky there, because David Webb, the referee, was just watching the ball as it got played inside, and he came in very, very late on Darnell Furlong. So I think Darnell Furlong will probably say to Nat Phillips, by the way, who has just done me there, and just, you know, put it in his little black book. I'll guarantee you that there might be what we call a reducer coming up for Deneva from Furlong.
Son of Paul Furlong, Darnell. He's had a good long spell at West Bromwich Albion. Since 2019 he's been here with over, well, he's edging towards 250 appearances for the Baggies. Now there's a foul in midfield by Henriksen on his Blackburn debut, and that gives West Bromwich Albion a free kick after Malumbi was barged over. 0-0. We've played just over 4 minutes, and Cambridge United lead early on at Swindon Town in League 2. James Brophy for the U's at the County Ground. That's the first goal in the 3 o'clock kickoffs this afternoon with the Championship, joining in the fun with League 1 and League 2, who got things underway last weekend. So this West Brom free kick, got 2 players standing over it, Price or Mowat, either a right or left-footed delivery, just to the right of centre of the Blackburn half. And Price goes for goal, and it's pushed away by the knees of the goalkeeper, Tot, and over the top for a corner kick. Isaac Price just fancied having a crack at goal when no one expected him to, and he very nearly caught out the keeper. Corner, 0-0.
Yeah, it's clever play from Isaac Price. Everybody expects him just to whip it in with his right foot in between the 6-yard box and penalty spot. He saw Tot just go to his right-hand side. Dance, I'm not sure, I think someone might have tied Tot's shoelaces together. He should be picking that up. He ends up shilling it over for a corner for West Brom on their right-hand side.
There might have been a swerve on the ball that put him off. Mowat takes the resulting corner. Tot comes and gets nowhere near it. Bounces out to the edge of the area. West Brom shovel it back out to Mowat on the right-hand side. Support from Price. Ribeiro goes across to close down the space. Price by the corner flag runs out of room, and it ends up being a goal kick to Blackburn Rovers, with the score at 0-0 on Talksport 2. Earlier today, you heard a goalless draw here with us on your home of the EFL between Coventry and Hull. Charlton left it late to beat Watford 1-0. Harvey Nibbs with a winner in stoppage time. And boy, welcome to the Championship, Wrexham. 1-0 up into the late stages against Southampton over on Talksport, before a brilliant Ryan Manning free kick and a Jack Stevens far post effort in off the crossbar gave Will Still Southampton a 2-1 victory. In League 1, away wins for Luton and Huddersfield at Peterborough and Reading respectively, and Salford won away at Notts County, and Tranmere thrashed Shrewsbury 4-0 in League 2. Those were the lunchtime games. Exeter have just taken the lead in League 1 against Blackpool down at St James Park. Reece Cole, and it's a free kick to Blackburn Rovers. Ohashi still having some running repairs down there for his problems with his contact lens. He's just putting a fresh one in now, and hopefully he'll be able to return, because Blackburn have been short-handed for a good 3 or 4 minutes here, 0-0.
Yeah, to be fair to Blackburn, they've made sure that they've competed for every 50-50, not really tried to play out from the back. When it's come to Top, even from the goal kicks, he's made sure he's just lumped it up the field basically until they can get Ohashi back on the pitch.
And he is back on now. 11 against 11 once more on Talksport 2. Flick on by Deneva, and it just drifts out of play for a throw. Dion Deneva, one of 6 summer signings, came in from the Kortrijk club in Belgium. got a couple of goals last season, quite versatile, can play as a left back, certainly playing as the left-hand sided player of a 3 in behind Ohashi this afternoon for Blackburn Rovers. A couple of players came in from Kortrijk. Ryan Albion also came in from the Belgian club. They know each other well, even though they play on different sides of the field for Blackburn. Travis heads the ball down to Deneva, but his ball in field is comfortably thumped up to halfway by Phillips. Onto the head of Hyam. Phillips goes in really strongly on Henriksen and wins a strong header. Furlong with a slightly wayward attempted clearance that is shanked high in the air, and it's won back by Blackburn. And here is Alabiosu, right hand corner of the area, little step over to get away from Stars, across the face of goal, and nobody there to turn it in. The ball was played behind Ohashi, who was close to the keeper. Good skill down that right hand side from Ryan Alabiosu to create a half chance for Blackburn Rovers. 0-0.
Yeah, really good play from Alabiosu over on that right hand side. Did his Michael Flatley foot over, went past Styles, got to the byline, got his cross right across 6-yard box. Just look at Ohashi. He should actually be pulling away dance at the far post. If he does that, he gets a tap in at the far post. He's actually running a little bit too early.
That's Perry Groves, former Arsenal title winner. You can hear alongside me Ian Dante here at the Hawthorns, where we played 8.5 minutes. Blackburn win a free kick at 0-0. Ohashi was just dragged to the ground by Jason Malumbi. Oldham 0, Colchester 1. That'll cheer you up, Pell. Jack Tucker putting the U's ahead up at Boundary Park.
Do you want my name stat of the day?
You've always got one.
Colts were unbeaten against new pro teams last season. 1-2, drew 2, scoring exactly 1 goal in each match. So that pattern continues.
At least it does for now. Free kick for Blackburn. Deneva to take it, left-footed, swings it to the far post. Up goes McLaughlin, heads it up in the air, keeps it in play for Blackburn and gets it back to Alabiosu. First time ball up to the edge of the area isn't great. Cleared away by West Brom. Carlan Grant giving chase as Price turns it over the halfway line, but Alabiosu back in position to guide the ball back to the keeper, Balosh Tot, who's preferred at the moment to Ainsley Pears, who's out anyway. Mikalski is the sub-keeper. Tackles flying in. Referee allowing play to continue as West Brom win it back. And it's Price trying to guide it out to Fellows on this near side, the West Bromwich Albion right, as they attack the Smethwick end. Foul on Travis by Price. Midway point of the Blackburn half. Free kick given. Wickham 0, Stockport 1. Kyle Wootton puts Stockport ahead. They lost at home to Bolton, live on Talksport 2 last Sunday lunchtime. Did the Hatters, but they're in front at Adams Park. 0-0 here. 10 minutes gone on your home with the EFL. And don't forget, we've got another championship commentary to come straight after this. We'll be off to Bramall Lane to join Mark Wilson and Courtney Sweetman Kirk as Sheffield United under Ruben Selles take on Bristol City, who themselves have new management in Gerhard Struber. Ball's out of play for a Blackburn throw. Ryan Mason allows Yuri Ribeiro to take the ball out of his arms. 34 years of age now, Ryan Mason. As Perry mentioned before kick-off, he was a manager at 29 in extremis for Tottenham Hotspur when Jose Mourinho was sacked in the run-up to the League Cup final against Manchester City 4 years ago. Now he's got his chance in the hot seat up against a man who used to coach here in Valerian Ismail. They look on as the ball's back with Hyam. Back for Top, the keeper. Short pass into Travis, who very nearly had the ball taken off his toe, but he did well in the end to get the ball out of harm's way. Sent up over halfway by Tronstadt. Alabiosu can't get past the challenge of Heggen, and Blackburn have a throw. 0-0.
Dance, just come up to 11 minutes gone. That's the first little passing move we've had for either team. It's been very, isn't it, helter-skelter, because both teams are trying to establish control, and Blackburn are just starting to get a little bit more of the ball. With Travis and Tronstadt, you know, the holding midfield players, they're trying to get himself on the ball a little bit more.
And here is Travis looking to swing the ball out to Alabiosu on the right-hand side, just over halfway. Picks it up, in picking it up, he's allowed Carlan Grant to get goal side of him. Tronstadt thought about a diagonal ball for a run of Henriksen, who was making that run from the number 10 position up to the edge of the area, but not spotted. Instead, it's gone out to the left, near side to us, with Blackburn attacking the Brummie Road end. Ribeiro works it back to the edge of the centre circle, and the two holding midfielders, Travis and then Tronstadt, back out to the right-hand side, and Alabiosu. But again, he's way down that right-hand side is blocked by 2 Albion defenders. So again, Blackburn spread play from right to left. Ribeiro again can't control the crossfield ball. Throw into the Baggies, 0-0.
Yeah, I'd say just Blackburn at the moment dictating the tempo. When West Brom are out of possession, they go back into a 4-4-2. They just drop in to their own half, and it's Price who goes up front with Hegerbutt just to let Blackburn have the ball, and there's no gaps at the moment between the West Brom back four and West Brom midfield.
Callum Stiles, who Valérien Ismaël used to coach up at Barnsley, down the left-hand side. Plays it back to halfway. Malumbi under pressure from Ahashi, gets it back to Hegem. Then a short pass from Mowat back to Malumbi. Stiles again looks to guide it down the left-hand side. Hegem had started to make a run, but the ball went out for a throw instead for West Bromwich Albion. Blackburn's record against West Brom recently is pretty good. They've lost only 1 out of 7 encounters home and away against today's opponents. It's their 8th successive season, Blackburn, at Championship level after they won promotion under Tony Mowbray in 2018. Yet more links between Blackburn and West Bromwich Albion, saying that name out loud. Free kick to West Brom, 13 gone. And Mowat is going to take this. It's over on the far left-hand side, about 20 yards inside Blackburn territory. Blackburn holding their line just ahead of the edge of the D, trying to keep it fairly high and keep the penalty area as unoccupied as possible. Mowat standing over it. Price is out there too. He might send a right-footed ball in, but he runs over the ball and Mowat delivers it now, left-footed, to the far post. Headed away by Ahashi for a throw. This will be another Darnell Furlong special down the right-hand side for the Baggies, 0-0.
Yeah, just a little bit too lofted there from Isaac Price, just trying to get it over to the far post. Maybe aiming for Nat Phillips, but Nat Phillips had made the run a little bit early into the centre, as I said. So both teams haven't really settled, but we're going to have a proper long throw again from Darnell Furlong on West Brom's right-hand side.
And he's got the concourse to run out of to get a full run up to this near touchline. Furlong hurls it in, drops on the 6-yard line, and it's tucked away by Isaac Price. West Bromwich Albion have hit the front inside the quarter-hour mark. The Furlong throw-in caused absolute chaos in the 6-yard box. The ball bounced around before landing at the feet of Isaac Price, who tucked it home. He scored 1 goal last season. He's already off the mark this. It's West Bromwich Albion 1, Blackburn Rovers 0.
Dance, the Price is right, because he was the Johnny on the spot, and we said about Darnell Furlong's proper long throw. That's the second one that he's had. He's actually hurled it again into the middle of the 6-yard box. It's Alabiasu again who's tried to clear it. He's got himself a little bit caught up underneath his feet. Ball rolls out, comes to Price. Very, very cool as it comes out to him. First time with his right foot. Gives Top absolutely no chance in the Blackburn Rovers goal. West Bromwich Albion go 1-0 up here at the Hawthorns.
21 years of age, Isaac Price. He joined in January from Standard Liège. Everton listeners might remember him coming through the academy up there on Merseyside. But the young Northern Irishman has put West Bromwich Albion ahead. And that will be a great tonic for Ryan Mason on his debut as West Bromwich Albion boss. 15 minutes gone on Talksport 2, and we have the breakthrough. How did Blackburn respond to going behind so early? Strong header forward from Stiles to halfway, but can only find Dominic Hyam. Now tucked down the right-hand side for Alabiosu as Blackburn try and respond. Alabiosu, he pushed Hegem to the ground in trying to get to the ball at the dead ball line. So a free kick to West Bromwich Albion in their left-back position. Elsewhere, Exeter have got a second against Blackpool at St James Park in League One. Jack Fitzwater up from the back to get that second goal. 1-0 here to the Baggies. Perry Groves.
Well, Dance, the long throw is a very underestimated part of the game. Some players not very far from here can make a career out of having a long throw. It lasted about 12 years. And you mentioned there with Darnell Furlong, he actually went and got a Diet Coke, didn't he, from the kiosk first, where he's run up the concourse. But Valérien Ismaël, the Blackburn manager, will be absolutely livid, because that was the second throw that had come into the Blackburn box, and it was a second time dance, but not one of Hyam or McLaughlin got a header.
Well, Lumby, great strength to get through the midfield and up to the edge of the area. Plays it left to Carlan Grant at the left-hand corner of the box. Crossing, looking for Price, who went up for a header, but Ribeiro did enough to put him off, and the ball just drifted behind in the end for a Blackburn goal kick. But West Brom have their tails up here, 1-0 to the good.
Yeah, great little ball in from Carlan Grant, just into the far post. And to be fair, Yuri Ribeiro, the Blackburn left back, did really, really well. He just made sure he followed the flight of the ball and just got a little nudge on, and then the ball just went out for the goal kick.
Back to halfway it goes. West Brom have it again as Blackburn give it up. Here's Nat Phillips. Plays the ball out to this near side, and Furlong keeps the ball in play, works it infield to Price, gets it on the half turn, able to sprint a little further into the Blackburn half of the field, but Furlong and Price combine again, and Price is brought down by Lewis Travis. That's an easy free kick for the referee David Webb to give. 18 minutes gone, and a chance for West Brom to swing another free kick into the Blackburn penalty box.
Yeah, it's really good play from Price, just playing in that 10 position, getting himself on the half turn. Just Travis, a little bit of frustration, obviously, because he could feel that the momentum has swung into West Brom's favour because Blackburn can't defend set pieces properly.
So Price will take this free kick. Mowat has moved away on this occasion, so it's to the right of centre, almost at the midway point of the Blackburn half of the field. Price swings it up to the edge of the box. Grant went for an overhead kick. It actually dropped at the far post for Phillips, who tried to wrap his foot round it. And he did get it on the volley, but it went way, way over the top for a Blackburn goal kick. Goal elsewhere. Crewe lead Accrington Stanley by a goal to nil in League 2. Lee Bell cider ahead through Rhys Hutchinson. And Ryan Mason cider ahead here on Talksport 2. A goal from Isaac Price has given West Brom an early lead here against Blackburn Rovers on your home of the EFL. It's had such a busy weekend already in the Championship on the opening weekend of the second tier. Birmingham and Ipswich drawing one apiece last night. We've got Leicester and Sheffield Wednesday, beleaguered Sheffield Wednesday, meeting tomorrow here on Talksport 2, and Sheffield United Bristol City to come later today. Over 500 games of football on the Talksport network this season from so many different competitions. Leyton Orient beaten handsomely at Huddersfield last week, lead Wigan Athletic early on at Brisbane Road. Stephen Sessegnon with an own goal to put the O's ahead, and Livingston lead Falkirk in the Scottish Premiership through Scott Pittman. Ball's out of play on this near side for another long throw incoming from Darnell Furlong, because it's 25 yards from the dead ball line, and we all know where this one is going.
We do, Dan. So Hyam and McLaughlin, the two Blackburn Rovers centre halves, they've got to make sure that if the ball does come into the box, that they engage it.
Now it's gone short in actual fact to the dead ball line. Pulled back to Carlan Grant at the edge of the area, back to goal. Teed up by Price for Callum Stiles with a drive, and it's tucked into the side netting by Fellows, but he knew he was in an offside position. So Darnell Furlong caught us all out there and went with a short throw instead. But it's a goal kick to Blackburn Rovers, who trail by a goal to nil here at the Hawthorns on Talksport 2.
Yeah, just trying to sort of mix it up a little bit. Quite rightly, Darnell Furlong with his long throw, just trying to play it into Tom Fellows. Gets it inside Ribeiro. Tom Fellows gets himself to the 18-yard box, pulls the ball back. Carlan Grant couldn't quite get it under control. And then Tom Fellows tried to put his false nose and glasses on, dancing at the far post, pretending that he wasn't there. Obviously probably about 5-6 yards offside.
That false nose and glasses that you wear when you're walking down the Tottenham High Road.
And one that you've got on today coming into the Hawthorns.
Didn't need it today, did you?
No, you, not me.
Oh, me? I'm all right. Down the right, they don't know who I am. Here's Deneva playing down the right-hand side for the moment for Blackburn Rovers, showing real good tenacity and wins it back by the corner flag, puts the ball into the area, deflects for Henriksen, but he couldn't control it as it came off Torbjorn Hegem's toe. Henriksen just couldn't control the loose ball, just toe-ended it behind for a West Brom goal kick. But Dion Deneva showed really good strength for Blackburn down that right-hand side. 1-0 to West Brom.
Yeah, uses physicality, just coming from this left-hand side over to the right, but again, getting into that final third, it's just that lacking a little bit of quality. You can understand it, Dan, obviously being the first game of the season. I mentioned before that the pace of this game will be 2 or 3 times more hectic than what it would be in pre-season. So hopefully now we've just come up to 22 minutes played, you know, both teams can sort of settle down, and the one that settled down the most obviously is West Bromwich Albion, because going in front from Isaac Price's goal, it just eases that little bit of stress and anxiety.
Bolton 1, Plymouth 0. Owen Toyle puts Bolton ahead at the tough sheet against Plymouth, who lost at home to Barnsley in the opening week of the season. So Tom Cleverley is finding life tough already down in League One at Home Park. Lovely crossfield ball. Oh, it almost picked out Albion. I thought he kept it in play, but it actually went out for a West Bromwich Albion throw, level with their own 18-yard line on the far side, the left, in front of the what used to be called the Rainbow Stand, the East Stand at West Brom. Behind that stand is a statue for a man we were having lunch with in the press room, Tony Bomber Brown, West Brom's all-time leading record goal scorer, and a nicer man you couldn't wish to meet, and a more passionate Albion follower you could not wish to meet. Free kick for West Brom, taken quickly and swung over to the right-hand side for Tom Fellows. And ball over the top from Malumbi down the right-hand side, asking Price to give chase. But Tot quite cleverly lets the ball trickle behind for a goal kick. Blackpool rather get a goal back against Exeter. Exeter 2, Blackpool 1, Ashley Fletcher. But it's 1-0 here to West Bromwich Albion on Talksport 2, and we are midway through the first half, Perry Groves.
Yeah, you think that Ryan Mason will be very happy. You see the way the game's gone. And you know, when you say you set the tone and you set the theme for the game, Nat Phillips obviously making his debut at centre-half for West Brom. Every time the ball has come into Oashi or Henrikson's gone a bit deep, he's the one who's followed him in, Dance, and he's the one who's been putting in really hefty physical challenges, and he's won every one of his personal battles so far.
Furlong sends the ball over halfway along the deck. Hegebert gets a touch on it, but it gets away from him, and here come Blackburn Rovers to the centre of the pitch, but Hedges couldn't make any headway, and Mowat wins it back for the hosts. Tries to release Carlan Grant down the left-hand side of the area, but Hyam is comfortably there first. Ball given away by Tot, the keeper, to Grant, pulls it back to Price, couldn't get the shot away. Malumbi sends it to the right-hand corner of the box, and it's going to be offside against a West Bromwich Albion play. But suddenly, again, it broke for West Brom in a really ideal position, because Balázs Tot with a really poor pass to try and find his centre-half, and they were nearly in for a second there, West Brom.
Yeah, I think Tot's probably had a little totty before the game, Dan, because every time the ball goes back to him, he doesn't look comfortable with the ball at his feet. He just had it there, scooped up, and came to Carlan Grant, did really well, pulled it back to Price, and Price had to be scoring. Should get there a little bit quicker. In the end, the shot was blocked.
Carlan Grant out on the left-hand side for West Brom. Level with the 18-yard line, faced up by Alibiosu. Gives it back 10 yards or so to Styles. Now Mowat guides it back out to Grant, who can again be faced up by Alibiosu. Tries the right-footed cross. It's deflected up in the air. Travis tries to bring it down to the edge of the D. Runs into Malumbi. Almost took a shot at goal, but taken off his toe by Deneva and guided back to the goalkeeper, who picks it up without fear of a free kick being given. 1-0 to West Brom.
He did well there, Deneva, to be fair, just doing his defensive duties, just got his little toe in.
Here's Ribeiro for Blackburn. Ball in field to Ahashi. Good strength for Malumbi. Shoulder to shoulder, won it back inside his own half. And now Hegerberg got a chance to have a first real run of the afternoon, the new striker. Down the right-hand side, he's got Hyam back pedalling. Fellows ahead of him, gets it back to the area. Surely Hegerberg, what a save from Tot to keep the score down. Hegerberg and Price both went for the same ball. Hegerberg took the shot, but a brilliant save down to his right. Mowat guides the ball back into the Blackburn box, headed away by McLaughlin this time. And Furlong got ahead of Ribeiro, but could only send it behind for a goal kick. But it opened up for West Brom. But somehow Balázs Tot kept the score down, 1-0.
Yeah, it was really good play from West Brom down there, right-hand side. Tom Fellows getting himself released, picked out the right pass, and then you had Hegerberg coming in round about the penalty spot, and then Price was just coming in behind him. And I think that Price got the ump dance because he thinks that Hegerberg should be leaving it because he's coming on to his right foot, but as a centre forward, there's no way in the world you're leaving that. And it comes to Hegerberg as it rolled across his body with his inset with his left foot. He thinks he's buried it in the bottom right-hand corner. Brilliant save from Tot with a big right hand low down to his right-hand side.
West Bromwich Albion 1, Blackburn 0, 27 minutes played. Don't forget, Ali McCoist returns to Talksport Breakfast on Monday in partnership with Jeff Stelling. All the weekend's headlines wrapped up neatly by Jeff and Ali from 6 a.m. when you wake up on Talksport. If you want a bit of music to start your day, the Chris Evans Breakfast Show starts on Virgin at 6:30. Just get the Talksport app downloaded for your phone and you can effortlessly swipe between all of our stations: Talksport, Talk, Talksport 2 and all the Virgin stations, as well as Times Radio. 1-0 here to the Baggies, who are trying to win the ball back inside their own half, but good skill from Blackburn. Alabiosu down the right-hand side, of support from Travis. Whips an early ball into the near post, but it's straight into the grateful arms of the keeper, Josh Griffiths, and it stays 1-0 to the hosts.
Travis just getting himself in that inside right position, just coming around the outside, gets his whip cross in, nobody getting across the near post, easy save for Griffiths.
I know what you did there. You tried to be subtle, but I heard you.
Subtle as a brick.
Through a plate glass window. West Bromwich Albion 1, Blackburn 0. Tucked back by Callum Stiles for Nat Phillips. Malumbi just inside his own half. Plays it forward to Mowat on the halfway line. Guided back now for Phillips. Hegem out to Stiles left hand side. Still only on the halfway line here, West Brom. But they had the lead, remember, through that goal on the quarter-hour mark from Isaac Price. And then a poor pass from Malumbi. Asked too much of Furlong on this near touchline. Trickled over his boot and gifted Blackburn a throw-in. Taken by Ribeiro. Back for McLaughlin. One of those 6 summer signings. £1.5 million from Hull City. Never scored when he played for the Tigers. Making his debut amongst 3 other players in the starting lineup for Blackburn Rovers this afternoon, with a couple more on the bench. Here's Ribeiro looking to release Deneva down the left-hand side, gets to the dead ball line, pulls it back into the near post. Henriksen actually looked to deliberately play it for a corner, tried to anyway, but he actually went out on the full without touching Nat Phillips, and it's a West Brom goal kick. They lead 1-0, 29.5 minutes gone on your home with the EFL Talksport 2. Fleetwood lead Bristol Rovers by a goal to 0. Will Davis for the Cod Army, who got off to a winning start last week, and Crew are 2 up on Accrington Stanley. Callum Agius for the second for the Railwaymen.
Yeah, it was good build-up play from Blackburn down their left-hand side with Ribeiro and Deneva.
It's a bit quicker, wasn't it?
Yeah, and when you get to the byline dance, you've got to make sure you get it to the far post.
Oh, the ball just went over the halfway line and Travis completely missed it, giving Isaac Price so much space to turn and try and find a teammate, but he overhit his through ball. Just went straight through to Tot, who may have looked uncertain with that long-range free kick that was hit early on and that errant clearance from his own 6-yard box, but a great save from Tot to deny a second for West Brom. He did make a handful of championship appearances, 5 in all last season, and the Hungarian is being preferred in goal at the start of this season. Ball headed out of play by Hegem under pressure from Ohashi. So Blackburn have a throw level with the 18-yard line, attacking the Brummie Road, ending their 3rd kit of that mottled yellow, and then a foul throw from the Japanese striker, spotted by about 6,000 people over there on that far side of the stadium, as well as the assistant. 1-0 West Brom.
I thought Ohashi there just had itchy ears. That was one of the worst throw-ins you'd ever see. A professional footballer, you should be subbed, actually. You take a foul throw.
No, don't go that far.
Off you come.
Don't go that far.
It's not difficult, Dan, is it?
Well, I don't know. I could make a Horlicks of a throw-in, I'm sure I could, if you asked me to. Here's Sean McLaughlin for Blackburn Rovers. Just shy of the halfway line. Looks up, plays the ball along the deck, into the feet of Henriksen and Hedges. Laid off by Hedges to Tronstadt. Now Alabiosu looking to scheme down the right-hand side. Good strong run from the fullback. Gets the cross in. Poor touch to the near post by Hegem. Ohashi trying to find a route through to goal. Saved by the keeper. And Deneva can't turn in the follow-up. It's put behind by Phillips for a corner kick. Good football by Blackburn, but it didn't get them the equaliser.
Yeah, really good goalkeeping actually from Griffiths at his near post. As the ball just came out to Ohashi. He's made sure as he slid in with his right foot, he thinks he's probably hooked it in. So really good save from Griffiths low down. goes for a corner out for Blackburn on their right-hand side.
So Deneva is going to take it, be a left-footed in-swinger where the Brummie Road end meets the east stand. Here it comes then from the Belgian. Good delivery. Oh, that's well headed clear by Phillips to the edge of the box. But Blackburn have won it back. Travis down the left-hand side of the area now. Checks onto his right. Little back heel to try and get a Hashi into the game. Gets there just ahead of Phillips. Back for Travis once more. Doesn't cross into the box. Works it back to midfield for Tronstadt. A few cries of shoot from the away end to our right. Now Ribeiro puts it into the danger area. Headed out by Hegem. Only as far as the lively Alabiosu down the Blackburn right. Tronstadt again looking to set up play. Crossing. Drifts out of the area to the left-hand side where Travis will pick it up. Faced up by Phillips, works it back to Tronstadt again, 30 yards out. Just dinks the ball to the far post. Headed across the face of goal and out by Mowat. Neatly done. Price brings the ball away. Little flick up to Hegebert just inside his own half. Surrounded by Blackburn players and he's given it away, but then a little touch from Henriksen takes it away from himself and gives it back to West Brom. It's all a bit harum-scarum out there. 1-0 West Brom.
Yeah, it was Blackburn a bit like the Chucker brothers there. It was Travis and Tronstadt for me to you to me. Then in the end it came to Travis and he just tried to ease it onto the far post. McLaughlin coming round. He got a good header in but couldn't quite get it back across the 6-yard box. That's enabled to West Brom to recycle possession. 12
minutes to half-time on Talksport 2. West Bromwich Albion 1. Blackburn Rovers 0. Isaac Price, after a bit of pinball in the area created by the chaos of a Darnell Furlong throw, notching West Bromwich Albion and Ryan Mason's first goal of the season. Both managers down below going for the smart casual approach today. The blue and white plimsolls and the tracksuit hoodie top. As West Brom try and come forward, Hegerberg was trying to release Price down the right-hand side. And they've just swapped their attacking midfielders. Karlan Grant has come across to the right-hand side for the moment and Fellows over to the left at 1-0.
Yeah, it was really good play from Karlan Grant, actually coming in from this right-hand side, just trying to read it, roll it into Hegerberg. And Hegerberg playing up front his own, you've got to make sure that the ball sticks.
Barnsley 0, Burton Albion 2. The Brewers 2 up through Fabio Tavares, and Swindon have turned it around in very short order. They were 1-0 down at homes to Cambridge. It's now 2-1 to Ian Holloway's side. Goals from Aaron Drinnan and Harry Smith inside 2 minutes, turning things around for Swindon.
Yeah, just looking at West Brom possession as well. They go into a 4-4-2 dance with Isaac Price up alongside Hegerberg.
Diagonal ball from Blackburn, trying to get Henriksen in behind Furlong. Wasn't the best of first touches from the fullback, but he hooks the ball out of play for a throw. But Ribeiro quickly uses the multi-ball system to get the ball back into play for Blackburn Rovers, who trail here by 1-0, 10 to the break on your home of the EFL, with more to come later. Ollie will be checking in at half-time with our commentary team at Bramall Lane, where Sheffield United will take on Bristol City at 5:30. 2 balls on the pitch temporarily. Now it's been kicked off by Ribeiro, who now has possession of the real ball out there, almost level with the 18-yard line, coming forward for Blackburn Rovers. Under pressure, has to steer it back to McLaughlin. Deneva on the left-hand touchline, can't get away from Karlan Grant, so tucks it back in field. Fleetwood 2, Bristol Rovers 0. Will Davis with a second for Fleetwood. Decent start to the season for them. Decent start to the afternoon for West Bromwich Albion, leading here, but Blackburn growing in a bit of confidence, coming forward again. It's Henriksen, the new signing, looks for Ribeiro down the left-hand side of the area, sends across to the far post. Everyone else has gone near in Blackburn shirts, and it's cleared away by Tom Fellows to find Isaac Price. He tucks it back into his own penalty area, but Mowat keeps the ball away from Ahashi, and it's still 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion on Talksport 2.
Yeah, it's good play again from Blackburn down their left-hand side. Ribeiro get himself to the byline. It's a really good cross in, and what happened, Dan, Owashi and Hedges both made the same run. Both ran to the near post, where, being the furthest man, Hedges should stay out. If he stays out, he gets a free header at the far post. But Blackburn, their best attacking play has come down the left-hand side. Little interaction between, it could be Ribeiro, could be Deneva.
Ball in from Furlong infield to Isaac Price. Crossfield ball attempted by Malumbi, trying to find Fellows. It will get across to the left-hand side, and Styles eventually back into the centre circle for Mowat. Oldham equalise against Colchester. 1-1 there.
Offside.
Josh Hawkes making it 1 apiece at one of the other colder grounds in the UK. The Hawthorns is the highest ground above sea level in English football, but you wouldn't know that it was that parky today. Very warm here on this August afternoon. Styles making a great run down the left, Fellows rather making a great run down the left-hand side of the area for West Brom. Well appreciated by the home support. Bromley 1, Barnet 0 in League 2. Michael Cheek, what a goal-getter he's been. On the mark again for Bromley this afternoon. Ball's back on halfway. Bromley take on Ipswich in the Carabao Cup. That's live on Tuesday night on Talksport 2. And also Huddersfield against Leicester City is live from the Carabao Cup. That's here on Talksport 2, live on Wednesday evening. Karlan Grant at 1-0 to West Brom, turns away from Ribeiro, schemes his way in field, just in front of the centre circle. Hegem takes over and quickly looks for Fellows down the left-hand side, up to the left-hand corner of the penalty area. Plays the ball along the deck into the box, but it's comfortably defended, or at least it was, by Travis. But then it was won back by Mowat, his opposite number. Travis dragged him back, and that's a free kick to West Bromwich Albion in a central position about 35 yards out. 1-0 they lead.
Well, Travis turned him completely around Alex Mowat there. Really good play from Mowat, just nipping in. Travis having a bit of a panic up, just pulled his shirt. A free kick for West Brom.
Well, we saw what Isaac Price did from fairly similar range a little earlier, trying to catch out Balazs Tot, who managed to divert Price's early free kick over the bar with his knees. By the way, Portsmouth have just taken the lead against Oxford in the Championship. Adrian Segecic with the opener for Pompey. Two sides who had pretty good seasons last year, first season back in the second tier, meeting at Oxford, who appear to have plans for a new stadium agreed in the Kidlington area of Oxford. Good news for Oxford fans, they're going to have a new ground in the not too distant future. Free kick for West Brom. Price has moved away. Alex Mowat looks like he fancies this. Karlan Grant standing over it as well. It's actually Grant who goes for goal, and that's straight at Tot, who lets the ball bounce once in front of him and claims it very neatly. 1-0 to West Brom.
Yeah, it was Karlan Grant there going for the old Ronaldo sort of technique, was it, with a firm instep from about 32.
Hit the valve.
Exactly, 32 yards out. And to be fair, Tot just saw it coming straight down the barrel, bounced in front of him, just clicked it into his midriff, didn't really trouble him.
Just over 5 minutes to go in the first half here at the Hawthorns, on your home of the EFL. Talksport 2, West Bromwich Albion 1, Blackburn 0 if you're just tuning in. A goal from Isaac Price inside the quarter-hour mark after a furlong throw had caused all sorts of problems inside the Blackburn penalty area. Ribeiro for Rovers, down this left-hand side, the left-back. It's quite odd that we've got two left-backs today, both playing with a number 4 on their backs. You don't see that very often.
Just to twist your melons.
It does well. I'm glad I can see the 4 on Ribeiro's back. I'm having trouble seeing the 4 on Callum Styles' back, but that's commentator's problem.
It's just like we said earlier, Dan, it's like a kaleidoscope when you watch West Brom.
The magic eye. Here's Karlan Grant, lovely ball in field. It almost snaked its way through to Price, but well defended by McLaughlin, high up for Blackburn Rovers. And here come the visitors again with Dion Deneva down the left-hand side. Price coming back to help out his fullback, but Deneva gets to the byline. Has he won a corner or throw? Looks like he's won a corner there, says the referee. Indeed it is a corner given to Blackburn Rovers. 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, good defending from Isaac Price, obviously playing in a 10 position for West Brom, making sure keeps his discipline, gets a block in for Denevo, who's going to take the corner, outswinging with his left foot.
At the Brummie Road end where it meets the Halfords Lane stand that we're sat in, quite high up here on the gantry. Great view we've got here of the action in front of us. So this left-footed outswinger for the Belgian into the near post, hits the first defender, thumped away gleefully by Fellows up to the halfway line where Travis collects.
I'll give him one, Dance. That's his one where you can hit the defender at the near post, because say Deneva worked hard to get the corner. You just got to make sure that you miss the defender at the near post, so you can give Hyam and McLaughlin, the two like Blackburn centre half, something to go on attack. And in the end, you hit the man at the front post. West Brom can clear it, and then they get themselves into that 4-4-2 shape where they can defend.
1-0 here, 1-0 to QPR against Preston. Ben Whiteman with the opening goal for QPR, and Stevenage lead Rotherham by a goal to 0 in League One. Jamie Reid on the mark for Stevenage. Blackburn trailing, but coming forward down the right hand side, given away by Hedges. And away come West Brom. Little dink ball over halfway by Mowat, trying to get Fellows in behind, but he ran straight into McLaughlin, who finds Henriksen. And now Deneva again on the left-hand side for Rovers. Gives it back to his captain, Travis, centre of the West Brom half. Half thought about a shot there, places it to his right for Tronstad. He does go for goal, but it's blocked at source by Karlan Grant. Now a diagonal ball looking for Deneva. Furlong, not just one, but two important headers to keep it away from Blackburn's new signing. And then Price just gives it a Gary Owen into the Blackburn half of the field, and Hegerber scrapping with Dominic Hyam, but Hyam keeps his feet, keeps his nerve, and guides it back to his keeper. 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion.
Dad, that was a proper avid there, wasn't it, from Isaac Price? Said the old up and under. And it looked like Hyam was in a bit of trouble at the end. He just made sure he let it bounce, got his body in between Hegerber and the ball, and got it back to top.
Here come Blackburn again, though. Alabiosu down the right-hand side. Oh, shows too much of that to Styles. Good footing from the left back, and it's out of play for a Blackburn throw. Time running out for Valerian Ismail's side to get themselves back on terms in this half.
There was a golden challenge there from Styles over on West Bromwich left-hand side. Alabiosu again doing his foot over, trying to go past him. Made sure he just kept his eye on the ball, just nicked it out for throwing.
Ball's back with Sean McLaughlin just next to the centre circle for Blackburn, inside the West Brom half. Tronstad beckons Hedges to come closer to the ball. Travis is caught by Hegerber. Referee allows play to continue because the hosts haven't won the ball back. Advantage played. Here's Travis at the edge of the centre circle now for Blackburn. Plays the ball to his right for Hyam, who immediately looks a little bit further forward for Ryan Hedges. Hedges out to the right wing, Alabiosu. Thought about a first-time cross, but checked onto his left hand, back onto his right. Deep swirling cross to the far post. Deneva tries to head it back across the face of goal. Furlong got it half clear, but he caught Deneva with his head. And there might be a bit of blood for Dion Deneva. Might need a bit of treatment. Yeah, I think he's been caught on the side of the head, and oh yes, there's definitely blood there. And he definitely needs treatment, Deneva. And play will stop for a moment as we move into the last minute of normal time of this first half, with West Bromwich Albion 1 goal ahead, Perry Groves.
Yeah, just accidental coming together as the ball coming from the right-hand side. Deneva just trying to get himself on the far post. To be fair to Darnell Furlong, who's been very, very good in this first half dance, he made sure he just tracked the flight of the ball as it dropped over his shoulder. Obviously, he's just raised his arm to try and head it. And unfortunately for Deneva, he's just caught him, he said, there on the side of the head. Straight away, Deneva give the referee David Webb a little wave just to say, I'm in trouble here. So the physios are on. So Deneva, what he'll do is he'll just wipe it all over his shirt, so it makes it look a lot worse than what it really is.
That's the trick, is it? I see. There speaks a man of experience. You ever been clattered and had blood all over yourself?
I played, and I didn't realise, a half when I was concussed for Arsenal, and I thought we'd beat Man City randomly. I thought we'd beat them 3-0, we beat them 4, and I couldn't remember scoring our third goal.
Oh mate,
and
that's not good.
I sat next to Mickey Thomas, honestly, in the dressing room at Highbury after, and that was a good result. Then you're 3-0, and he looked at me as if he thought I was winding him up. He went, "You having a laugh, Grovesy?" I went, "What do you mean?" He said, "You scored, you made it 4." And I couldn't remember the whole second half.
Oh, that's not good, mate.
It's the only time I scored twice for the Goons. Actually, I wish I'd have been concussed a little bit more, to be fair, for in my career. Might have scored more goals.
You did win the title, though.
I didn't know what I was doing. That was the old days, whereas how many fingers? 1, 2, what's your name?
Yeah,
on you go.
Tell him he's Pele.
Exactly.
Deneva still receiving treatment, so there's been a break in play. We have moved into 2 minutes of minimum stoppage time here at the Hawthorns, but we're going to play more than that because the injury to Deneva occurred before we'd even gone past the 45-minute mark. So he's getting strapped up with some bandages around his curly blonde locks. There's no other goals elsewhere to tell you about, other than in Scotland, where Inverness lead Peterhead by a 1-0. So goals at a premium so far in the Championship today. We did have Southampton beating Wrexham at lunchtime on Talksport. Coventry Hull here on Talksport 2 was goalless. Charlton left it late but beat Watford at lunchtime by a 1-0. But elsewhere, it is Middlesbrough 0, Swansea 0, Norwich 0, Millwall 0, Portsmouth lead at Oxford, QPR, as I mentioned, through that Ben Whiteman own goal lead against Preston. And here at the Hawthorns, West Brom 1, Blackburn 0.
Deneva just said to the Blackburn physios, "Just a favour, can you give me the Terry Butcher headband right across around my head so people know I'm actually playing on with a head injury and I've had stitches."
Well, I'm glad he's all right, because compared to the days when you were playing, concussion protocols are a bit stricter and a little bit tighter.
And so, quite rightly so.
Indeed. So,
and the good thing about it, Dance, is you have to have an independent doctor. It's not the physio or the doctor of the team.
Or
the
indeed
players.
the player, because the player said, "I'm all right," when you had no idea whether you were or not half the time. Nothing personal. Ball over the top, looking for Ahashi. Looking for Hegem to defend that. Oh, he's lost out to Ahashi. Has he brought him down? No foul, says the referee. Very quick to wave away Ahashi's protest. He got in front of Hegem. There was a tangle of legs. Ahashi went down, but David Webb could not have been quicker to wave his arms and say no penalty, play on. 1-0 West Brom.
Well, I think Hegem, we can hear the sigh of relief from here, because Ahashi did really well chasing a lost cause, right-hand corner of the penalty box. As the ball bounces up, Hegem thinks that he's got Ahashi. Ahashi actually gets goal side of him. There was a little tangle legs, as you said. To be fair to David Webb, the referee, Dance, he was Johnny on the spot. What was he, probably 10 yards away? He decided that there wasn't enough there.
1-0 to West Brom. Dying stages of the first half. Ball out of play for a throw. It's about midway point of the half. Is Furlong going to hurl this one into the area? It's close enough for him to have a long throw into the box, but he fooled us all last time by going short.
Yeah, I think I just want to keep possession. Get it down in the corner.
He's going short this time. He's standing right on the touchline rather than taking the 10 paces back. Tries to play a 1-2 with Hegebert. Given away. Henriksen under pressure from Malumbi. Back to the edge of his own penalty area. Finds Dominic Hyam, who hoofs it out of his own 18-yard box. Neat header down from Ahashi to find Alabiosu. Alabiosu runs into a challenge from Moet. Ahashi wins it back quickly, but then runs into a challenge from Jason Malumbi, and West Brom win it back almost as quickly as they lost it. Now Styles with the ball over the top, but that's too far ahead. Everybody here comes short for West Brom towards the ball, and the ball sailed over everyone's heads, and there goes the half-time whistle. Ryan Mason's first 45 minutes as West Bromwich Albion manager see his team in front, and it came from the chaos caused by a Darnell Furlong long throw into the box. Blackburn just couldn't deal with it, and it was a really instinctive prod home by Isaac Price to make it 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion. He'd earlier tested Tot in the Blackburn goal with a free kick that the Hungarian just managed to divert over with his knees. It could, maybe should have been 2-0 to West Brom. Hegebert on debut brought out a brilliant save from Tot late on. Blackburn had a few fleeting moments, and a late penalty claim in the first half waved away when Ohashi thought he was fouled. But at the break on Talksport 2, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Blackburn Rovers 0.
Ian Danter, thank you very much indeed. A bright start then for Ryan Mason's Baggies. But Perry Groves, do you think Blackburn could feel a bit hard done by in that challenge right at the end there? A tangle of legs in the box. Ahashi went down. Was there enough in it for a penalty?
Well, where we are, to be fair, I actually thought it was a penalty. If I was a centre forward, I'd be wanting it, because Ahashi made sure he got the goal side of Hegem. I think Hegem had a bit of a panic up, and it looked like there was a tangle of legs. But I'd have to say, the referee David Webb was a lot closer than what Dance and myself were, and he just straight away said no, play on. And thankfully there is no VAR.
Yeah,
so we haven't wasted 3 minutes of our lives looking at replays.
Yeah, I think Hegem didn't really know where his own legs were, and it was very, very clumsy. So maybe a case there for Blackburn. But let's talk about the goal for West Brom. Isaac Price, the long throw into the box caused havoc, but I thought it was the composure of Price that was so impressive. He reacted first and suck it away.
Yeah, he just made sure you have to get the knockdowns, so it was really good composure. But what happened, there was a long throw before that from Darnell Furlong, Ollie, and actually, again, it landed right in the middle of the 6-yard box. It was Alabiosu who cleared it, he volleyed it clear. And I said in commentary that two things: if you're attacking it, you can't allow the ball to bounce in the 6-yard box, and especially if you're defending it. So the two centre-halves, Hyam and McLaughlin of Blackburn, that is just something that you can't allow to happen, you know, when it bounces. So it happened the second time, where I think it was Alabiosu who got the ball sort of caught under his feet, and then as it rolled out, you said there, Isaac Price, so really good composure, inset with his right foot, just rolled it low down to Tot's right-hand side, a very good finish, put West Brom 1-0 up, and on the balance of play at that time, they just got themselves back into the game, and they probably just about deserved it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Blackburn, to be fair, they played some good football at times as well, maybe just lacking a bit of edge up top.
Exactly it. When you look at, I know there's all these algorithms these days, aren't there, like logarithms as well, and they have the iPads and all the statisticians on the side. So if you look, Blackburn have dominated possession, just over 56%, but the telling stat is Blackburn have only had one shot on target, and that was Arashi, where the ball come to him on the right-hand side. He thought he'd obviously rolled it underneath Griffiths, but it was a really good save from Griffiths low down to his right-hand side. So West Brom, it's both very evenly matched teams, both playing exactly the same system. We said that, the 4-2-3-1. The thing that I liked about West Brom, halfway through the second half, or maybe half an hour, Fellows and Grant swapped over wings. You very rarely see that in a modern day game where, just go over to the other side for sort of 10-15 minutes, and actually Fellows look better and Grant looked better. Grant was better on the right, Fellows was better on the left, because obviously Fellows is left-footed, so he could go on the outside of Albion. So Ryan Mason, the West Brom manager, just sort of implementing his own ideas. Both teams go back into a 4-4-2 when they're out of possession, just go retreat in, to their own half. But I think West Brom have just had that little bit more creativity and inventiveness in the final third.
Perry Groves, thanks very much indeed. Go and grab yourself a cup of tea. We'll be back with you, Andy and Danta, for the second half. At the moment, West Brom leading Blackburn Rovers by 1-0. Following this game here on Talksport 2, we've got more Championship action for you. Sheffield United are taking on Bristol City at Bramall Lane. It's a 5:30 kickoff. Let's bring in your match commentator for that game, Mark Wilson. Mark, very good afternoon to you. Both these sides made the playoffs last time out, but you feel that it's Sheffield United, isn't it, who are heading into this season with real hopes of trying to get back up to the Premier League?
Yeah, good afternoon, Ollie. Yeah, on paper you'd think that, wouldn't you? Obviously Sheffield United got the business done in the playoffs against Bristol City, but couldn't beat Sunderland in the final, and they finished 22 points clear of the Robins in the regular season last year. 2 new managers, handful of new signings. It's going to be interesting, but certainly the Blades, I think optimism will be high. The likes of Louis Barry coming in as well will add some real firepower up front, but Emil Rees, signed from Preston for Bristol City, will give them some goals as well. So I think this is an intriguing contest to start both new managers' campaigns off. Yeah,
we're looking forward to it. Mark, thank you very much indeed. Mark will be live at Bramall Lane a bit later on Talksport 2 for Sheffield United against Bristol City. Right, don't go anywhere. In just a moment, we'll bring you the half-time classifieds and, of course, the second half of West Brom against Blackburn next.
Ultimate Sports Radio.
What a moment!
This is Talksport 2.
Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper. Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper.
Maybe not.
Yorkshire tea, where everything's done properly. Yorkshire tea.
Right, enough of that. How about Yorkshire tea, where everything's done proper?
They've been building up to this all summer. Dad tucks into a tight 360 to the boot. A 90-degree rotation into the backseat from Sammy. And Mum with a flawless double twist into the driver's seat.
Dive into a new Skoda with 0% APR across our range and an extra £1,000 towards your finance deposit with Solutions PCP. The Skoda Summer Splash event. At local retailers until 31st of August. Indemnities may be required. Maximum terms apply depending on model. Minimum 20% deposit for Kamik and Karoq. Delivery by 31st of December 25. Skoda Finance.
Buy now with up to 12 months to pay. Sofas and smartphones, cozy duvet. 12 months to slay with Very Pay. Snazzy air fryers for your nuggies. TVs and vacuums for your hubbies. 12 months to slay with Very Pay.
Get up to 12 months to pay when you shop at Very. Plus, there's nothing to pay at checkout. Search Very Pay today. Very. Let's make it sparkle. Very Pay credit provided subject to status by Shop Direct Finance Company Limited. 18 plus representative. 44.9% APR variable.
Does the thought of renewing your travel insurance weigh you down? Does it make you feel like you want to bang your head against a brick wall? Why not use Confused.com and feel more like a balloon? A balloon in the shape of a person who's no longer weighed down by travel insurance. And balloons don't have a nervous system. so they feel no pain. Travel insurance feels better when you've just used Confused.com.
When you're growing a small business, you need someone who understands the ins and outs. And whether you're a tailor or an accountant, you need the tools to succeed. With an HSBC small business banking account, you'll have free accounting tools and access to our business specialists, virtually or in person. Because whatever your small business looks like, we're with you all the way. Search HSBC Small Business Banking Account to get started. Subject to application, eligibility, credit check and T's and C's. Visit hsbc.co.uk for details.
It's the totally immersive football experience.
Right, put it on! What a goal!
EFL Live on Talksport 2. This is Game Day. Halftime classifieds.
Good afternoon, you're listening to TalkSport 2. I'm Ollie Klink. We're bringing you live coverage of West Brom against Blackburn in the Championship. Right, it's time to get your half-time classified scores then, starting with
Sky Bet Championship.
In the 12:30 kickoffs, it finished Charlton 1, Watford 0, Coventry 0, Hull 0 here on TalkSport 2, and Southampton 2, Wrexham 1 over on TalkSport. At half-time, it's Middlesbrough 0, Swansea 0, Norwich 0, Millwall 0, Oxford 0, Portsmouth 1, QPR 1, Preston 0, Stoke 0, Derby 0, and West Brom 1, Blackburn 0. The 5:30 kickoff is Sheffield United against Bristol City, live here on TalkSport 2.
Sky Bet League 1.
In the early games in League One, it finished Peterborough 0, Luton 2 and Reading 0, Huddersfield 2. At half-time, it's AFC Wimbledon 1, Lincoln 0, Barnsley 0, Burton 2, Bolton 1, Plymouth 0, Exeter 2, Blackpool 1, Leyton Orient 1, Wigan 0, Mansfield 0, Doncaster 0, Northampton 0, Bradford City 0, Stevenage 1, Rotherham 0 and Wickham 0, Stockport 1.
Sky Bet League 2.
In the 12:30 kickoffs in League 2, it finished Notts County 1, Salford 2, Tranmere 4, Shrewsbury 0. At half-time, it's Barrow 0, MK Dons 0, Bromley 1, Barnet 0, Cheltenham 0, Chesterfield 0, Crawley 0, Newport 0, Crewe 2, Accrington 0, Fleetwood 2, Bristol Rovers 0, Gillingham 0, Walsall 0, Harrogate 0, Grimsby 0, Oldham 1, Colchester 1 and Swindon 2, Cambridge 1. There we go, there are your half-time classifieds. We'll bring you the second half of West Brom 1, Blackburn 0 in just a moment.
Ultimate Sports Radio.
What a moment!
This is TalkSport 2.
This weekend, TalkSport's morning conquest continues with another Breakfast of Champions. The Weekend Sports Breakfast with NordVPN. Wake up and smell the match day on the UK's fastest and most well-connected football news network. Make sure you're match fit ahead of all the action with analysis that takes you behind the scenes of all the teams. The Weekend Sports Breakfast, tomorrow morning from 6 on TalkSport with NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day. Find out more at nordvpn.com/TalkSport.
Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper. Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper.
Maybe not.
Yorkshire, Yorkshire, Yorkshire tea, where everything's done properly. Yorkshire, Yorkshire, Yorkshire tea.
Right, enough of that. How about Yorkshire tea, where everything's done proper?
Julie could part exchange her car. Or check out We Buy Any Car. She could be unsure if she got a good deal part exchanging. Or have cash in the bank with more bargaining power to get a bigger car for her five-a-side team. Totally played. Or total player. To get a quote in 30 seconds, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Direct Line's flexible business cover means I only pay for the cover I need. That's how it's done. Imagine if that's how everything got done. Like dominating the pub quiz.
Final question. What is the population of Mongolia?
3,537,947.
Is absolutely correct. This week's winner is none of your quizness.
Direct Line. That's how it's done.
Underwritten by UK Insurance Limited.
When you're growing a small business, you need someone who understands the ins and outs. And whether you're a tailor or an accountant, you need the tools to succeed. With an HSBC small business banking account, you'll have free accounting tools and access to our business specialists, virtually or in person. Because whatever your small business looks like, we're with you all the way. Search HSBC Small Business Banking Account to get started. Subject to application, eligibility, credit check and T's and C's. Visit hsbc.co.uk for details.
Introducing McDonald's Side Missions. Every weekday, a new exclusive mission will drop in the app, like a $1.99 Big Mac with
the Big Mac of Destiny Side Mission.
And a chance to win prizes every weekend. Only on the McDonald's app. 18 plus app only. Ends 10th of August. One play per day. Fees apply to delivery. Participation varies. Serving times and T's and C's apply.
Your live sports station.
Oh, what a move. This is Talksport 2.
Good afternoon. This is EFL Game Day exclusive here on Talksport 2. I'm Ollie Klink. Thanks for sharing your Saturday afternoon with us. It's currently West Brom 1, Blackburn 0 at the Hawthorns, where, by the way, there is a lioness in the building. Hannah Hampton, fresh from her interview with Talksport the other day, is there in her baggy shirt. She's posing for selfies, a Euros winner, of course. And I tell you what, if you haven't seen the interview with Sam Matterface the other day on Talksport, it is brilliant. She talks about the fact that she threw away the bottle of the Spanish goalkeeper with all of the penalty tricks and tips and hints on there. Absolutely genius. Launched it into the crowd and managed to win the shootout. She is there in blue and white today, supporting the Baggies, and they are 1-0 up in Ryan Mason's first game in charge. Remember, later on here on Talksport 2, it's Sheffield United against Bristol City. That one kicks off at 5:30, and tomorrow we'll bring you the Community Shield over on Talksport. Liverpool against Crystal Palace. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff for that game. Let's bring back in Perry Groves, the former Arsenal winger, as the teams make their way out onto the pitch. Just very quickly then, Perry, how can West Brom kill this game off?
I think they've got to be better in possession in central areas, because what happened towards the end of that second half, you can understand, obviously 1-0 up, they dropped a little bit deep. That allowed Travis and Tronstadt, the two centre midfield players for Blackburn, to get themselves on the ball. So I think they've imposed themselves physically. Ryan Mason will be delighted, because he was always talking about aggression before the game, because you have to be aggressive with this Blackburn team. They've won their 50-50s and all the little knockdowns. I think he'll just want them to be a little bit tighter in possession. From Blackburn's point of view, I'll be amazed if we don't see Max Hargay come on, because Oashi's been working his socks off up front, but he's feeding off scraps. He can't hold the ball up, and Max Hargay is like 6'5", so I'll give him a bit of presence.
Perry, thanks very much. Let's get back to the action then. For the second half, we'll hand over to yourself, former Arsenal winger Perry Groves, alongside Ian Danter.
As Blackburn get us underway, wearing their third kit of the mottled yellow shirt, shorts and socks. Blackburn kicking towards the Smethwick end, where their fans are. The goal away to our right-hand side as we look from high up in the Halfords Lane gantry. And they've made a change at half-time. Dion Deneva, we mentioned that head injury he picked up as we went into added time. He has not come out for the second half, so there may be a delayed concussion for him. So Augustus Cargbo has come out to replace him in the midfield. He joined in February from Cesena. The Sierra Leone attacker hasn't scored yet, but looked quite lively in pre-season. Let's see what he can do. I'll run you through the revised lineups in a minute. Here is Cargbo getting his first touch out on the left-hand side for Blackburn. Gets to the midway point of the half, tries to tease the ball into the box looking for a Hashi, but it drifts behind for a goal kick. So West Brom, Griffiths in goal, Furlong, Phillips, Hegem and Styles, Malumbi and Mowat, and then Fellows, Price and Grant behind Hegebert. For Blackburn, it's now Tot in goal, Alibiosu, Hyam, McLaughlin and Ribeiro, Travis and Tronstadt holding, Hedges, Henriksen and Cargbo now behind Ahashi in attack. As Preston immediately equalised at the start of the second half at QPR. That's 1-1. Milutinos Majic with the equaliser for the Lily Whites, and Chesterfield lead at Cheltenham in League 2. Lewis Gordon making it 1-0 to Chesterfield down at Wadden Road. Free goal kick smacked downfield by Josh Griffiths for West Bromwich Albion, looking for Hegebert, but it's won back by West Brom eventually on halfway. Took forward looking for the run of the goal scorer Isaac Price, headed away by McLaughlin. It's all a bit scrappy and tight and tense, but Carbo comes away with it down the left-hand side for Blackburn, already showing great pace. Was he obstructed there? He was, by Nat Phillips, and he's going to get a yellow card for that offence. Is Nat Phillips on his West Brom debut, and Blackburn have a free kick, but they trail 1-0.
Yeah, really good play from Carbo down that left-hand side. Looks like he's no good at enjoy having the 1v1s, and Nat Phillips doesn't want to be isolated over on that right-back position, and he basically took one for the team because Cargo Dance looked like he was going to be away, so Nat Phillips just stepped across him, brought him down quite rightly. Dave Webb, referee, gives his first yellow card of the afternoon.
Which means Blackburn have a free kick back 20 yards inside the West Brom half, tight to the left-hand touchline. Ribeiro swings it in left-footed. McLaughlin goes up at the far post, and it was well defended by Hegham. Kept in play, down by the corner flag by Hedges. Gives it back to Lewis Travis, who tricks himself really in the end and gives away. No, it's a corner given. It came off Karlan Grant last of all. So encouragement for the Blackburn fans behind that goal to their right-hand side. They're behind, but they've got a corner.
Actually, Travis should have whipped it in first time with his right foot. Karlan Grant just come back and tracked him down, and to be fair, the referee and the assistant didn't really know what to do, so they decided it was a corner for Blackburn on their right-hand side.
Masses of Blackburn plays beyond the far post for this left-footed in-swinger from Ribeiro, driven into the 6-yard line again. It's bouncing around. It will come back out to Ribeiro. Will it not? Good foot in from Tom Fellows to win it back, and he clips it downfield and finds Karlan Grant, takes it on the run, tries to nutmeg Albion, who's slightly got the better of him. So now there's a counter-attack on for West Bromwich Albion. Grant can't get past Alabiosu at the second time of asking, and then he pulls on the shirt of Carbo, and he's going to get a yellow card. So 2 cautions in quick succession for West Brom players. Grant following Phillips into the notebook.
2 yellows don't make a strawberry.
Not on this occasion.
It's actually really good play from West Brom down the left-hand side. 2 wide players, Fellows and Karlan Grant, linking up. Great first touch initially from Karlan Grant, the outside of his right foot. Twice he tried to nutmeg Alabiosu, and twice, to be fair to Alabiosu, he kept his legs shut, managed to get the ball off him, and then Karlan Grant gets an unnecessary yellow card for a tug of the shirt.
Middlesbrough lead Swansea in the Championship by a goal to nil. Dale Fry with the opener for Rob Edwards' side. He's now in charge there on Teesside. And 1-0 here to West Bromwich Albion with 4.5 minutes of the second half gone. On your home with the EFL, Talksport 2, where we've already brought you Coventry's goalless draw with Hull here, and next door on Talksport we brought you Southampton's dramatic late win against Wrexham at lunchtime. And we've still got Sheffield United Bristol City to bring you here on Talksport 2. And we'll get the team news in the next 5 minutes or so from Mark Wilson, our man at Bramall Lane. Meantime, throw into West Brom. Down this left-hand side, and Perry Groves has spotted something.
Well, just looking at Blackburn, we said about, maybe they'll bring on Rakhtar Gay because he's 6'5". He's just come into Oashi there, and instead of just holding the ball up, taking a couple of touches, he's tried to lay it off first time. Then he's obviously put it out for a throw for West Brom, and that means that Blackburn can't actually start getting further up the pitch and keeping the ball and trying to put West Brom under a bit of pressure.
1-0 West Brom. Millwall lead at Carrow Road against Norwich City. Camion Negley for Millwall, who just keep on doing it in the Championship. Oh, lovely wall, one back by Isaac Price for West Brom. Nutmegs the defender, gets into the area, and a left-footed shot is brilliantly tipped round the post by Tot for a West Brom corner at the Brummie Road end. They won the ball back high up. Isaac Price brilliantly toe-ended it away from the opponent, ran through to just inside the area, but his shot was saved. 1-0.
Yeah, it was Tronsack get himself caught on the ball. Isaac Price picked his pocket, just towed it past him, then he made sure he made his strides to the edge of the 18-yard box, got his left-footed shot away. Really good save from Trot Low down to his right-hand side. Corner for West Brom on their left.
Taken by Fellows at the Brummie Road end, punched away by Tot. Malumbi tries to collect it right-hand side of the area, has to just spin away from the penalty box for a moment. Gives it back to Styles, little dinked ball up to the edge of the area, chested down by Phillips, tried to take 2 further touches. He thought he had more time to actually bring it under control, but Tronstadt got it half clear. Strong header up to halfway by Hyam for Blackburn, laid off by Ohashi to his captain Travis, trying to give it back to his striker, but in slid the challenge of Darnell Furlong, and the ball goes out of play, and Blackburn end up sending it back into their undefensive third. 1-0 West Brom lead. And it could so easily have been 2, and again It's Price really pressurising the back line of Blackburn. This time McLaughlin was the man being put under pressure. Top clears the ball downfield and the two number twos go for it. And Furlong gets the better of Alibiosu in the air.
Yeah, just been caught a little bit there. Furlong was in the left-back position. And then from Styles caught in the right-back position. Now they've been able to swap back over again because the ball's gone out of play for a Blackburn Rovers throw-in. But just looking at West Brom, Dance, they've been very physical, haven't they? They've been on the front foot. All their challenges have been very, very aggressive.
What you would really more expect of Blackburn Rovers if a team embodies its manager.
Yeah, absolutely, because I said before that Ryan Mason was kept mentioning before the game about pride, of being the manager here and setting a tempo and a template, but being aggressive and physical. And he knew that he had to match Blackburn Rovers in that department, and that's exactly what they've done.
1-0 West Brom here with 52 minutes played on Talksport 2. Stockport have a second at Wickham. Wickham 0, Stockport 2, Jack Diamond. Swindon 3-1 up on Cambridge, now having been 1-0 down. Darren Oldacre with the third for the Robins. And Norwich equalise against Millwall at Carrow Road, having just gone behind, who else but Josh Sargent, to get the Canaries level. Will he still be a Norwich player come the end of this transfer window? Long throw coming in for Darnell Furlong for West Brom. It's only about 5 or 6 yards away from the dead ball line on that far side of the field at the corner of the Brummie Road end. And it comes from Furlong. Great pace on it. Up goes Hegham, and Hegebert as well was up there, and he headed it way over the bar. Went off the top of his head, really, Hegebert, more than anything else. And presents Blackburn Rovers with a goal kick, 1-0 West Brom.
Yeah, but at least this time, Dan, you can bet your life at half-time that Valérien Ismaël said to his two centre-halves, I want one of you attacking the ball. This time, Hyam stood in the middle of the 6-yard box to make sure that at least got a challenge on Hegebert. Ball just looped over the crossbar.
So, 1-0. Down the left-hand side for West Brom. Plays a diagonal ball out to the right, but it's one back by the visitors, and Henriksen looking for the lively looking Carbo, second half substitute, has the ball taken off his toe. Throw in for Blackburn, taking quickly down the left hand side. Travis gives it to Carbo, rides a couple of challenges, then runs into Malumbi, and the loose ball breaks for Isaac Price. Keeps his feet well and plays the ball left for Styles, still inside his own half. Now he clips the ball down the left. It's overhit for Hegebert. Blimey, you could be Usain Bolt and not catch up with that. It's bounced twice and through to Tot in the Blackburn goal. Just shy of the 10-minute mark in the second half. And Valérien Ismaël keeping a close eye on his substitutes, and maybe Maktar Gueye has had the nod that Perry Groves mentioned a little earlier. He's just been called back to the subs bench by his manager. Meantime, Alibiosu, the right back, on halfway, plays it square for McLaughlin. Steers it out to Ribeiro, left-hand side, 20 yards inside the Albion half of the field. Mansfield lead Doncaster in League One by a goal to nil. Stephen McLaughlin for the Stags. And Inverness Caledonian Thistle 2-0 up on Peterhead in Scotland. Blackburn try and thread the ball up to the edge of the West Brom area. It's cleared away by the Baggies, but Blackburn win it back. Kept in play well on this near side by Ryan Hedges. Tucks the ball in field neatly for his captain, Travis. Travis, centre of the West Brom half. Just lays it off to his immediate right for Tronstadt. Square ball across for McLaughlin. McLaughlin up to the edge of the area. Misses out Hashi. Almost ran through for Hedges. But Styles got there first. Got himself between man and ball and cleared it well for West Bromwich Albion. Up to Hegebert. Trying to hold it up. But he can't get away from Dominic Hyam. And the ball's back with Blackburn Rovers.
Yes, Blackburn just starting to dominate possession. You can hear the sort of the sighs of anguish from the West Brom fans, because they realise that Blackburn have just started to get themselves on top, moving the ball just that little bit quicker.
Carbo went down in a heap, but the referee said play on as West Brom bring it forward with Tom Fellows, right-hand corner of the area. He's got McLaughlin back pedalling, plays the ball across, half-hearted claims for handball, waved away again by David Webb. As for those claims for a foul late on Ahashi in the first half for Blackburn. I would mention as well that West Bromwich Albion have only kept 3 clean sheets in 2025. They didn't keep any clean sheets in their pre-season fixtures, but they lead by a goal to nil here. Can they keep their noses in front and give Ryan Mason the debut win as Baggy's manager. Let's quickly get the team news from our 5:30 kickoff here on Talksport 2, Sheffield United, Bristol City. Here's Mark Wilson.
Yeah, Blades gave debuts to Louis Barrett and Tyler Bindon. They both start. Bristol City, no Max O'Leary for the first time in over 2 years. Manchester United lonely Radek Vitek starts in goal, as do Randall and Rees both make their first starts. We're live from 5 at Bramall Lane on Talksport 2, Sheffield United against Bristol City.
Thank you, Mark. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk will be alongside Wills for that game. And our build-up starts at 5 p.m. once we're done here at the Hawthorns, where Maktar Gay is being introduced, but not in place of Ahashi. He's coming on in place of Axel Henriksen, making his debut for Blackburn today. So that means Ahashi will presumably, Perry Groves, drop into the 10 position that Henriksen occupied to allow Maktar Gay to go up top.
Yeah, Maktar Gay just having a little chat there with Ahashi. He'll probably want him, say, just to drop in and playing around him. Might even go a 4-4-2 dance. You know, because when it comes into Maktar Gay, you've got to get very close to him, and that'll be Awashi's job.
Scored both goals when Blackburn won here. Managerless Blackburn, it was. John Eustace had gone back to Derby County, where he'd been a player. And Blackburn, boy, how they rallied on a day without a permanent manager and won 2-0 here. Can Gay work the trick again this afternoon, because he's come onto the pitch with his team behind. Gillingham 1, Walsall 0. Bradley Dack back at Gillingham these days, wants a Blackburn player, puts Gillingham ahead at the Priestfield, and Barnsley get a goal back at home to Burton. It's now Barnsley 1, Burton 2. That's Caelan Vickers with a goal back for the Tykes. And Harrogate 1, Grimsby 0 in League 2. Reece Smith, Simon Weaver's been manager there for about 50 years now, hasn't he?
Does help if your
dad's the chairman
owns the football club.
It does help.
You think it eases the pressure if you lose like 3 or 4 on the trot? Mind you, he might have to sit in the car with his dad on the way home.
Exactly,
right?
when he's got the right hump. I wouldn't fancy that very much. Out to the right-hand side for West Brom. We lead by a goal to nil as we approach the hour mark on Talksport 2. Furlong sends it long down the right-hand side. Blackburn deal with it well at the back. And here's Lewis Travis turning and running towards the halfway line. Alabiosu making space down the right-hand side. Will he be spotted? Hedges hasn't spotted him, but Tronstadt has. Hedges has gone again down the right-hand side for a return pass from Alabiosu, but the pass towards him was just overhit and allowed Hegem to tuck it out of play. But it is a Blackburn throw in West Brom's defensive third, taken quickly by Alabiosu, and it's worked back for Dominic Hyam. Into the centre circle it goes for McLaughlin. Now it's brought out to the left-hand side for Carbo, who's looked quite lively since coming on at half-time. Gets level with the edge of the area, puts in a deep cross, too deep, bounces once and then behind at the Smethwick end for a West Bromwich Albion goal kick. An hour gone on your home with the EFL. It's West Brom 1, Blackburn 0, and another change coming up, and another debut coming up. And Alabiosu, who I think has done quite well, is actually being withdrawn here to allow Lewis Miller to come onto the field. Lewis Miller signed this very week from Hibernian, made 85 appearances for the Hibees, an Australian with a handful of international caps, and it's a straight swap really, with Miller coming on for Alabiosu at fullback.
Do you know what, that's a surprise, Dan. She said therefore Alabiosu was very good for Blackburn in the hour that he's played. You know, I thought he was defensive duties, he was good. So maybe it's just like a fitness issue. So fresh legs and Miller just like for like going in the right back position.
It's worked back by Fellows for West Brom to Jason Malumbi, the Republic of Ireland international. Exeter 3, Blackpool 1. Exeter restore a goal, 2-goal cushion. Jayden Wareham on the hour. And Stoke City 0, Derby County 1. Carlton Morris opening his Derby account after his move from Luton. Away come West Brom down the left-hand side with Carlan Grant. Puts an early ball into the area just behind Hegeber. Might drop for Furlong at the edge of the box. Went down under pressure, nothing doing again. Says the referee, wags his finger. And then Carbo falls, got dispossessed and then won it back from Fellows just as quickly. Carbo now bringing it clear for Blackburn up to halfway, hugging the left-hand touchline. Dinks it up to Maktar Gay, showing strength up against Phillips, but he can't get away from Torbjorn Hegem. Hegem can only put it out for a throw. Blackburn starting to apply some pressure here, but there's a good chance at the other end for West Brom at the Bromley Road in 1-0.
Yeah, it was good play from Carlin Grant down the left-hand side. It was a really good ball, just pulled it back to the penalty spot. Again, there was 4 West Brom players in the box dance, but they all got in too quickly. They're all in the 6-yard box, came out to Furlong. Cargbo did really well, actually. Just had a little nudge of his shoulder, just managed to knock him off balance. David Webb, referee, again, to be fair to him, Johnny on the spot, just said no penalty.
Bolton 2, Plymouth 0. Mason Burstow came through the Chelsea ranks. I saw him have a really good loan spell at Charlton. He's got Bolton 2-0 up. Cross from the right-hand side from Hedges for Blackburn. Comfortable catch for Josh Griffiths. In the West Bromwich Albion goal, Alex Palmer has gone. It was really between Joe Wildsmith and Josh Griffiths who got the nod. 6 starts last season for Griffiths after a loan to Bristol Rovers. Goalkeeper might be a position that West Brom might look to strengthen before the window's out.
Well, I don't want to say too much too quickly, but he's actually looked very calm, hasn't he, Josh Griffiths, in goal, because he had 1 save to make in the first half from Ohashi, which he did really well. Not easy for a goalkeeper who's probably, 6'5". Got himself low down to his right-hand side.
Now Callum Starr's making a good run down the West Brom left, brings it down, level with the 18-yard line. Faced up by Hedges, chips the ball in right-footed off the top of the head of Miller, goes behind, it's going to be a corner to West Bromwich Albion at the Brummie Road end. They lead by a goal to 0 on Talksport 2.
Yeah, Callum Starr just getting it onto his right foot, cutting inside, just looking at Tom Fellows coming in from that right-hand side, just trying to sneak in, just gets a little nick, loops up, corner for West Brom over on their right.
Where the Brummie Road meets the East Stand. It will be Mowat to take a left-footed in-swinger. Swindon 3, Cambridge 2. Sully Kai gets one back for Cambridge at the county ground. 1-0 to West Brom. Corner to them at the Brummie Road end. Mowat swings it in left-footed. Up goes Hegham. Drops to the far post. Hegham, but just couldn't bring it down. In fact, he did bring it down with his hand, says the referee, and Blackburn get a free kick. As Barnsley level it at home to Burton Albion 2-2. Davis Keeler done with 2 goals in 2 games for him to get the Tykes level. Remember, they won handsomely at Plymouth despite going down to 10 men last Saturday. 1-0 here to West Brom. Dominic Hyam knocks it back to Tot. The Blackburn keeper right-footed first time, looking for the strong figure of Maktar Gay. Did well to hold off Hegham, but he couldn't find a teammate with his flick in field. Ball's bouncing around the centre circle. Somebody's got to bring it down and get it under control. Carlan Grant does eventually and knocks it back to Callum Stiles on halfway. Atmosphere just growing a little bit more intensely here. The attendances have been going up year on year here at the Hawthorns, up to 24,000 average last season.
It's more of a boing than a boing at the moment, Dan, isn't it?
Well, they know that stat that I mentioned earlier about how few clean sheets they've kept in this calendar year, just 3, and none at all in the pre-season fixtures that they played. But they are ahead here through that goal on the quarter-hour mark from Isaac Price. Mowat turning away from Gay. Then he got dispossessed by Gay. No, he fouled him to win the ball back. Did Maktar Gay. Bang on halfway, free kick to West Brom. 25 minutes to go on Talksport 2. Furlong takes the free kick quickly, looking for Fellows down the right-hand side. He knocks over Yuri Ribeiro, and the assistant on that far side gives that as a Blackburn free kick, 1-0.
There was absolutely no need for Tom Fellows to foul Ribeiro there. The ball's just been played into that right-hand channel. Ribeiro's facing his own byline. He's going nowhere. And what he wants you to do is just give him a little nudge and foul him so he can go down. So Tom Fellows should actually back off and make Ribeiro make the decision of what he's going to do when he gets the ball.
Free kick smack downfield. West Brom will try and win it back, but Hyam will head it over the halfway, looking for Hedges. Tronched out with a bit of head tennis as well. Gay brings it down. Mowat loses out. Here's Travis finding Ohashi, dropping deep up to the edge of the area, runs into trouble, given away by Furlong out to the left hand side, but a foul. The whistle's gone for a foul on a Blackburn player, or West Brom player rather, at the edge of the area by Ohashi. West Brom get away with one there. Harrogate 1, Grimsby 1. Charles Vernham equalises for the Mariners at Wetherby Road. That's 1-1. Cheltenham 0, Chesterfield 2. Dylan Duffy doubles Chesterfield's lead down there in Gloucestershire, not too far down the M5 from us here. But at the Hawthorns, approaching the last quarter of this championship encounter, we've still got Sheffield United, Bristol City to bring you. It's West Bromwich Albion 1, Blackburn Rovers 0.
Yeah, from Blackburn's point of view and Valérien Ismaël's, he's just looking at his team thinking, yep, you've given me everything, your effort and application I can't fault, but who's going to have that little bit of creativity?
Tom Fellows in behind, down the right-hand side for West Brom, clips it into the area, looking for Grant, headed up in the air by Miller, drops for Mowat, heads it back towards the danger area in the 6-yard box. 2 headers clear, get it away from Dominic Hyam, comes back to Callum Stiles, who tried an instinctive left-footed shot on the half volley from just outside the D, and it whistled over the crossbar for a Blackburn goal kick. 1-0 West Brom.
Callum Stiles, that was nearly golden, just as the ball dropped on the edge of that D. Just gets it onto his left foot. It's actually quite good technique on the half volley. Can't quite get his knee over it. Just goes over the top of Tuck's crossbar.
Push by Gay on Phillips. Backing into his player. Solihull 1, Forest Green 2. National League starts today. Robbie Savage, now manager at Forest Green. Back in Solihull, where I'm sure he used to live when he was a Birmingham City player. And Nick Horton has put Forest Green ahead at the Armco. A few friendlies going on today. I know Manchester United were playing Fiorentina today, and they've confirmed Benjamin Šeško as a United player. The Charity Shield tomorrow, the top flight curtain raiser, as they like to call it. Liverpool against Crystal Palace, live on Talksport tomorrow afternoon. We've got Leicester City against beleaguered Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow afternoon here on Talksport 2 in the Championship. Just check the live games tab, bottom right hand corner of the Talksport app, and you'll find out just exactly what live football we have coming up for you, not just this weekend but over the course of the next week or two.
Could it be Oliver Glasner's last game was boss of Crystal Palace? Not very happy with the transfer dealings at the moment. He said same as last season, they've left it really late.
And of course they've got this decision, this appeal.
I think the case was on Friday, wasn't it?
It was Friday. Didn't hear a verdict given as to whether they had won their case to get back into the Europa League and swap places with Nottingham Forest again.
I think Steve Parrish said it's going to be a week where they, decide whether they do the right moral thing.
It's a long time since Blackburn Rovers and West Bromwich Albion played in Europe. Blackburn, of course, played in Europe after having won the Premier League 30 years ago. Remember that punch-up between David Batty and Graham Lasso in the frozen wastes of, was it Spartak Moscow, somewhere like that? West Brom have had to wait even longer for European football. Blackburn have a throw, left-hand side. We've got just over 20 minutes to go in this Championship encounter. Stoke equalise against Derby. That's 1-1 in the Championship. Lewis Baker making it all square at the Bet365. Long throw coming in for Blackburn Rovers from the far left-hand side.
OK, Lewis Miller. Let's see if you can channel your inner Darnell Furlong and launch the ball.
There's not quite as far or as much space to run in from on that far side of the field in front of the East Stand as there is in front of the Halfords Lane stand that we are sat in. Jed Wallace going to be on in a minute for West Brom, incidentally. They're going to make a change, but not till after this next passage of play. In comes the throw from Miller into the near post. Oh, it's headed away by the keeper. Nat Phillips away from the keeper, got there eventually, but the ball had gone behind for a goal kick. That looked nervous for a moment as Griffiths thought he was going to catch the ball and the head of Nat Phillips took it off his gloves. Here comes the change for West Brom, and it will be Jed Wallace getting a final high five from his manager.
You know what happened there with Josh Griffiths, the West Brom goal kick dance? He got himself too involved with the three players that were in front of him. So as a goalkeeper, you've got to make sure sometimes you step away to give yourself a little bit more leverage to come and claim the ball. And he couldn't get his right punch in. He just sort of punched it, come off the top of his fist, went behind him, and lucky for him, went off for a goal kick.
Brilliant. The fourth official held up the board proudly, thinking he got the numbers on it, and he hadn't. He's finally put them up now.
Got one job.
And it's Tom Fellows coming off to allow Jed Wallace to replace him. Jed Wallace would probably say to you he had a season to forget last year for West Brom. Just 1 goal and 1 assist compared to 6 goals and 5 assists in the previous campaign. He'll want to invoke the spirit of the season before last, most definitely. He's on for Fellows for West Brom's first change.
Yeah, just a little hand in over of the captain's armband as well from Darnell Furlong. Just put it up the right touchline to Jed Wallace. And from West Brom's point of view, obviously very, very experienced player. So they hope that he can bring a little bit of calm to this West Brom team, get himself on the ball, keep possession.
West Brom are hanging on here. 71 minutes played on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Mark Wilson and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk standing by to bring you full commentary of Sheffield United against Bristol City, both with new managers. Well, it's a pretty easy thing to say in the Championship these days. Everyone's got a new manager at the start of the season, apart from John Mousinho at Portsmouth, and they're winning at the moment on the opening day of the second tier of English football. Elsewhere, Barrow 0, MK Dons 1. Alex Gilby for MK. Here come Blackburn with Cargbo down the left-hand side, getting into the area, tries to scheme it across the edge of the penalty area. Furlong tucks it behind. It's a corner kick in front of those Blackburn fans to Rovers, 1-0.
He's given a little bit of energy, electricity, isn't he, down the left-hand side, Cargbo. So it was a good battle with Furlong. Just tried to go on the outside of him. Furlong slides in.
Good reports on what he'd done in pre-season, so he's carrying that energy through to this substitute appearance. He came on at half-time for Dion Deneva. Corners easily defended, though. The goalkeeper's on halfway for Blackburn to retrieve possession. 2-0 to Newport at Crawley. Liam Shepherd putting the Exiles further clear down in Sussex. Here's Sondre Tronstadt for Blackburn. Went down as he tried to play a reverse ball down the right-hand side of the box. Looked at the referee for a foul and got nothing. Mansfield 1, Doncaster 1. Owen Bailey equalises for Donny, and Harrogate 3-1 up on Grimsby. Conor McElhenney with a third for Harrogate.
Just seeing there, if you're a little bit of an insight into what Ryan Mason wants from his West Brom team. We all know that Carlan Grant wants to be 1v1 in the wide areas, but him and Tom Fellows have just gone off. They've worked their socks off defensively for their team.
Now, right-hand side, Wallace gets his first involvement. Malumbi gives it back to the West Brom number 7. Malumbi has it once more. 73 minutes gone. West Brom 1, Blackburn Rovers 0. If you're just tuning into EFL Live on Talksport, the second of 3 live games we're bringing you on this station alone today. Coventry 0, Hull 0. It finished at lunchtime. Whilst over on Talksport, Southampton left it so late, but beat Wrexham 2-1 with an injury time Jack Stevens effort. Here's Travis, the Blackburn captain, steers it out to Miller. On as a substitute in the second half, the new signing from Hibernian. Faced up by Grant, has to give it back to Travis on halfway. Travis plays a square ball to the other side of the centre circle where Sean McLaughlin picks it up. Under pressure from Hegeber, gives it back to Hyam in the centre circle. Travis once again looks down this near side for Hedges. Hedges, lovely ball through the legs of Styles to find Miller, who's ahead of him. Miller tries to give it back to Hedges. He's faced up by Styles, clicks it back to Travis, who's a bit further forward now, midway point of the West Brom half. Pretty much everything to his left, and backwards a square of him now is Dominic Hyam. Gives it left to McLaughlin. Now they've attempted to thread it up to Ribeiro. Intercepted at first by Price, but Blackburn did really well to win it back. In steps Grant, trying to win the ball off Miller, but Miller shows good strength. He's quite tall and rangy, this fullback from Hibernian for Blackburn, and he's now won a free kick as Mowat pushed him over. 1-0 West Brom, and we've got a quarter of an hour to go at the Hawthorns, Perry Groves.
Yeah, you can just feel a little bit of anxiousness, can't you, Dance, in the stadium? I know we've only got 15 minutes to go, but because West Brom, the last sort of 5 to 8 minutes, haven't really been a threat. Blackburn have been the ones who've been getting themselves on the ball. Travis and Tronstadt sort of dictating play. But to be fair to West Brom, their defensive shape has been excellent. They've had good distances between the back 4 and the midfield 4.
Ribeiro's free kick up to the edge of the area, headed away strongly by Hegem, but Tronstadt nods it down to the inside left channel. There's Carbo going on the outside of Hegem, but then tries to run past Furlong, but Furlong stayed on his feet and won the ricochet and clips the ball forward for West Brom, but it won't find Hegeber again. Travis manages to sneak his way past Isaac Price. Wickham 1, Stockport 2. Wickham get a goal back through Jamie Mullins at Adams Park. Here comes Yuri Ribeiro, clipping the ball into the box, looking for Matar Gay, and Hegem should have had a call from his goalkeeper, didn't get one, and elected to head it behind for a Blackburn corner. West Brom 1-0 up.
Yeah, it's just that little bit of nervousness you can gradually feel creeping in. You said there, Hegem, if he gets a shout from Griffiths, then he just ducks underneath it. It goes to Griffiths. He ends up heading it out, as a good centre-half should do, because he wasn't sure. Corner for Blackburn over on their left-hand side.
Right in front of their supporters. Yuri Ribeiro to take it. Left-footed out-swinger. Up goes Miller. Tries to get his head on it and Gay at the far post. Tried acrobatically to turn it in from a tight angle, but realistically wasn't anywhere near it. But good leap from the full-back there from the corner kick, but it stays 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion on Talksport 2.
Yeah, it was one full-back to the other. Really good corner from Ribeiro. Out-swing with his left foot from that right-hand side. Then Miller just coming round the back, getting himself in the centre of the 18-yard box, got a really good contact with his forehead. You said there, looked like Gay might nod it in at the far post, just went over his head. But it's just Blackburn are just trying to put West Brom under a little bit more pressure. But what's happening, Dance, when they're getting into that final third, they're just lacking that little bit of quality at the moment.
That's Perry Groves, former Arsenal title winner, you can hear alongside me, Ian Danter, here at the Hawthorns. Diakite is going to be on very shortly for the Baggies. Falkirk get one back in the Scottish Premiership. Livingston 2, Falkirk 1. Ross McIver. Both these sides have got home cup ties in the Carabao Cup in midweek. West Brom against Derby. And Blackburn will take on Bradford at Ewood Park. Carbo going straight running. He's thrown to the ground by Darnell Furlong with a rugby-style tackle. Easy yellow card to be administered by the referee. That's the third yellow card that West Brom have had in this second half.
Dan, that would have been a yellow card in the British Lions tour, because honestly,
it's high.
He's gone on the outside of him down the touchline, and Furlong's had a massive panic up and basically just put both his hands right across his shoulders, dragged him to the floor. So if you're Blackburn, Cargbo's look very lively. So now what you do, the next 5-10 minutes, just keep feeding Cargbo the ball out on that left-hand side. Let him go 1v1 with Furlong.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself out there. Free kick for Ribeiro for Blackburn. 10 yards from the dead ball line. Right on the left-hand side. Floats it to the far post. Miller gets up again for the header, but can't keep it down. It's well over the bar, and another West Brom goal kick. But the pressure continues to be applied, and that maybe is why Ryan Mason has called for Usman Diakite from the bench, and he's bringing off the goal scorer, Isaac Price, who's getting a very warm round of applause. Standing ovation from all around the Hawthorns for this tall, rangy, attacking midfielder who was Johnny on the spot at the right time to give West Brom the lead, but he's making way for Diakite with less than quarter of an hour to play here on Talksport 2.
As you said there, Dance, his fresh legs. To be fair to Price, he wants to obviously play in the 10 and get himself on the ball, which he did in the first half, but because they haven't seen a lot of the ball in the second half, West Brom, you can understand Ryan Mason putting Diakite on.
Joined a year ago from Hartberg in Austria, Usman Diakite hasn't scored for the club. He will, though, assist Alex Mowat. Malumbi's going to play in the Isaac Price role now, so Diakite will sit alongside Mowat, and here he is immediately getting the ball off his goalkeeper, and no chance for him to get into the game slowly. He's given the ball straight away. Did manage to find Hegem, but West Brom can't get the ball past halfway, at least not at first. Styles got 3 Blackburn players around him, ends up winning a throw off Dominic Hyam. 1-0 with 10 to play.
Welcome to the game from Griffiths there, wasn't it, to Diakite? Yeah, have that on the edge of your own 18-yard box, back to play. Can you deal with it? And to be fair, he did really, really well, because he just played it first time, his effort out to Hegem.
AFC Wimbledon 2, Lincoln City, and all looks like a first win back in League 1 for the Dons. Nathan Asimwe. Barrow 0, MK Dons 2, Callum Patterson. Another change for Blackburn Rovers, and Sydney Tavares comes on to replace Lewis Travis, the captain, for these last 10 minutes. Another new signing is on the field. He was at the Leicester City Academy, scored once in 30-odd appearances for the Moreirense club last year. Cost Blackburn just shy of £2 million to bring him to Ewood Park, and will be up at Ewood Park next Saturday for Blackburn's first home league game of the season against Birmingham City. That's our 3 o'clock offering. Part of all the EFL action will bring you this and every weekend on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. Best thing to do is there's a free kick given for a foul on Jason Malumbi. Tune in from 10 o'clock every Saturday morning. You'll get our EFL All Access show with Hugh Rosencroft. Then you get the EFL Fan Network with Sam Fudge chatting with podcasters from all around the EFL, and then our live coverage starts at noon with one of the early kickoffs, a 3 o'clock offering as well. Loads of great EFL content every Saturday for you from 10 o'clock in the morning to help you get set and then listen to the day as it progresses. Free kick for West Bromwich Albion after that foul on Malumbi. It's midway point of the Blackburn half to the left of centre. Harrogate 3, Grimsby 2. Grimsby get another one back. Millwall back in front at Norwich. Macaulay Langstaff makes it Norwich 1, Millwall 2. Here's Mowatt's free kick for West Brom. Blackburn holding their line at the edge of the 18-yard box. In it comes, headed out by Tavares. Only as far as Malumbi. Goes for goal and it whistles over the crossbar. Keeper had it covered. Good strike though. Really firm hit from Jason Malumbi. Goal kick though to Blackburn. 7.5 minutes to go. It's 1-0 to the Baggies.
Yeah, Jason Malumbi obviously just playing a little bit more advanced in that 10 position now with Diakate just behind him with Alex Mowat. And then as it just dropped down to him, just got it out of his feet. Again, a right foot half volley. Just went about a yard over Tott's crossbar.
Tronstadt tried to help it forward, but just smacked it into the mush of his own teammate, Tavares. So West Brom have it back with Karlan Grant. Plays it back into his own half for Alex Mowat. Almost inviting Ohashi, come on then, close me down. And then plays it back to the square to Nat Phillips. Solid debut for the man from Liverpool. For you, Perry Groves?
Yeah, very much so. Obviously, he got his yellow card early in the second half, but apart from that, I think he set the tempo in the first half. The first 5 challenges that he had, he made sure he won every single one.
Carbo went down cheaply, claiming he was caught by Diakite. Again, the referee wagged his finger and said nothing doing. Carlisle fans back in the National League, they've gone all the way down to Woking, and they do lead 2-0. Ethan Robson with the second goal for the Cumbrians. But then every away day is a long way for Carlisle United fans, whatever league they're in. They just didn't want to be in the National League this year. So, 6 minutes to go. Can West Brom hang on? It's 1-0, but they're under pressure. Here comes Lewis Miller down the right-hand side for Blackburn. Inside Styles and puts it out for a throw. But looks like Lewis Miller's got a long throw on him, just like Darnell Furlong. So this is going to go into the mixer, you sense. 1-0 to West Brom.
Yeah, the 2 centre-halves of Blackburn just making their way up. Hyam and McLaughlin said there. Lewis Miller just wiping the ball on his jersey. You know you're going to lob it in.
But he's got much more room to operate in on this near side of the field as we look as they attack the Smethwick end Blackburn with their supporters. A lot of them wearing the same yellow change kit as they've got on. In it comes from Miller. Headed up in the air by Phillips. Not once but twice. Oh, he clashed heads with his own teammate there. And there's going to be a head injury and a need for treatment. Nasty looking clash of heads. I can't see who the other West Brom player is that went down with Phillips as they both tried to head the same ball clear. But the West Brom physios are on very quickly to attend to the injured players. So 5 minutes to go, plus what will now be a little bit of stoppage time to add on. West Bromwich Albion 1, Blackburn Rovers 0 on Talksport 2. Remember, stay on this frequency for Sheffield United against Bristol City straight after this game with Mark Wilson and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. And may I remind you, Mr. Ali Murdo McCoist is back on Talksport Breakfast on Monday morning in tandem with Jeff Stelling from 6 in the morning. Great guests to help get your day off to the best possible start. And then Jim White and Simon Jordan return from 10 a.m. Fantastic.
Right, Jim. Oh, sorry, I thought he just walked. Thought he was up in the gantry. Just looking at difference there, Dance. Lewis Miller, he runs up the Darnell Furlong, which is now his tunnel, isn't it? Where on this right-hand side, when he launches the ball into the box, Nat Phillips actually said to all of his West Brom players, "Get out of my way. I'm coming. I'm going to attack the ball." Exactly what he did. He attacked the second one. Unfortunately, as he attacked it, he ended up catching Karlan Grant accidentally. But that is just the differences in the mindset of the centre halves, because as I said before, Hyam and McLaughlin in the first half didn't attack the first 2 long throws, and Isaac Price was the one who tapped it away for West Brom to what then 1-0 after 15 minutes. And that's what Nat Phillips is going to bring to this West Brom team. He's going to bring some leadership, he's going to bring some physicality, and he's going to bring some desire.
Carl Bartley retired yesterday as a West Brom player after over 200 appearances, a persistent knee injury. Or ball forward into the area. Griffiths comes out well, claims it ahead of Hedges who made a run into the area. A couple of defenders left West Brom yesterday. Frabotta, the left back, who came in for a princely sum, barely played for West Brom, has been released by mutual consent. But Bartley cannot continue. Former Arsenal player who made his debut for the club in the Champions League, having to retire. We wish him well going forward in whatever Carl Bartley chooses to do. But there's holes to plug for Ryan Mason at the back for West Brom before this transfer window is done. Free kick awarded for Blackburn Rovers, but it's down the wrong end of the field for them with 3 minutes to go and 1-0 down Blackburn. They want it down the other end.
Well, for all the possession that Blackburn have had, and they have, had the lion's share of this in the second half, Griffiths in the West Brom goal hasn't had a save to make, Dance. I think he's had one punch from a long throw, which he got wrong, but other than that, he hasn't been troubled.
Miller now for Blackburn Rovers. Ahashi calling for it right-hand corner of the area. Miller tries to beat one too many players, and Karlan Grant wins possession back. Tries to get it clear, but actually Miller did well, won it back and gets the throw. That's good knowledge of where people were around him, Lewis Miller. And once again, he's drawing the ball on his mottled yellow jersey to sling the ball into the box. Going to see another debut. George Campbell's going to be on shortly as an auxiliary centre-half for West Bromwich Albion. But here comes Miller's throw into the West Brom box. Again, Phillips says, that's mine. Gets there first, but it's headed back into the box by Tronstadt. Cleared away by West Brom. Grant tries to help it clear. He's clashed with Miller, who's gone down in a heap, claiming he was caught. And now the referee will ask for the physios to come on and treat Lewis Miller. He allowed play to continue at first. So there's going to be even more additional time at the end of the 90. 90 seconds to play of normal. Campbell waits to be introduced. Miller gets some treatment, and Campbell is going to come on for Karlan Grant. So it is going to be a third centre-half, Perry Groves, for West Brom for these last few minutes.
Yeah, you can just tell that Ryan Mason has realised, obviously, that his team are just sitting that little bit deeper. And they're just signalling to the West Brom side. Looks like they're going to go, obviously, with the three centre-halves, because the main threat from Blackburn in the second half has come from Lewis Miller's long throw.
Well, Miller's still lying flat on his back, getting treatment. A reminder that we'll be off to Bramall Lane as soon as we're done here for Sheffield United against Bristol City. Ruben Sellers now in charge of the Blades. Gerhard Struber, the new man at Ashton Gate after Liam Manning went to Norwich. But Norwich are losing at the moment in the Championship. Just a reminder of the latest scores as Miller still receives treatment. Earlier today, Charlton 1, Watford 0, Coventry 0, Hull 0 here on Talksport 2 was live, and Southampton 2, Wrexham 1 was live over on Talksport. Middlesbrough leads Swansea by a goal to 0. Millwall 2-1 up at Norwich going into added time. Portsmouth 1-0 up at Oxford. QPR and Preston 1-1. So too Stoke and Derby. And in League One, wins earlier today for Luton and Huddersfield at Peterborough and Reading. Wimbledon 2-0 up against 10-man Lincoln. Barnsley 2-2 with Burton. Bolton 2 up on Plymouth. Exeter 3-1 up on Blackpool. Leyton Orient 2-0 up on 10-man Wigan. And 1-1 Mansfield Doncaster. 0-0 Northampton Bradford. Stevenage 1-0 up on Rotherham. Stockport still leading 2-1 at Wickham. 6 minutes of added time have been shown by the fourth official, but we haven't started that yet because Miller is still receiving treatment for the head wound. Let me run you through the League Two scores we got earlier today. Salford and Tranmere won their early kickoffs against Notts County and Shrewsbury. MK Dons 2-0 up at Barrow at the moment. Bromley 1-0 up against Barnet. Chesterfield 2 up at Cheltenham. Newport 2 up at Crawley. Crewe 2 up at home to Accrington. Fleetwood 2, Bristol Rovers 1. Gillingham 1, Walsall 0. Harrogate 3, Grimsby 3 now. Grimsby equalised a third goal for the Fishy people. 1-1 Oldham Colchester, and Swindon 3, Cambridge United 2. It was Harvey Rogers that got the third goal for Grimsby Town, incidentally. And more of that white strapping required by the Blackburn physio staff to wrap round the head of Lewis Miller, having wrapped it round the head of Dion Denevet at the end of the first half.
I think Terry Butcher could have actually got licence for that look.
Well, he's missed his chance, hasn't he?
Not enough blood on it.
That ship has sailed.
There's not enough blood on it, though. Lewis Miller.
No.
You've got to learn what to do, mate. Just make sure you get the blood on the outside. Make it look like a proper warrior.
So Miller now back on his feet, thankfully. He's going to walk to this near touchline. So it says 91 minutes 43 seconds on the stadium clock, but we've not even started added time yet. Livingston have all the points against Falkirk in the Scottish Premiership. 3-1 to Livy. Jeremy Bokila with the third goal, and Sonny Cox has got a fourth for Exeter. Exeter 4, Blackpool 1. Back underway here on Talksport 2. West Brom 1-0 up, and we're into the 6 minutes of added time. We've only just ticked around 92 minutes as we get back underway, so could be 98, 99, maybe even nearer 100 minutes by the time the full-time whistle goes. What have Blackburn got left to try and salvage a point here? Or can West Brom hang on for their new manager? Here's Hegerberg on his debut, wrestling for possession with Tavares. Does really well, manages to stay on his feet and get the ball out to Wallace on the right-hand side, who's looking for a return pass from Diakite, but it's overhit. And it's to throw into Blackburn. 1-0 West Brom.
Yeah, just a bit overhit there from Diakite trying to get out to Jed Wallace that right-hand side. Basically, Dance, West Brom going to go 5-4-1. I saw Ryan Mason just signalling to Hegerberg, I want you to stay up front on your own. And then they're not going to try and play midfield. They're going to put it in the channels. Hegerberg's just going to chase it down and see if they can see out this 6 minutes of added on time by putting it into
another Abbott from Darnell Furlong this time, but it's nodded back by McLaughlin for his keeper. Mansfield 1, Doncaster 2. Owen Bailey looks to have won it for Donny late on at Mansfield. Long ball downfield from Blackburn, looking for Gay, almost got him behind Phillips, and Josh Griffiths made sure to clutch hold of it just in case it might have got a touch off his defender and gone behind for a corner, so he's prevented that. And clears from hands, just one bounce and through to the Blackburn keeper. Tot slightly overhit there from Josh Griffiths. Bromley 2, Barnet 0. That's the point save for Bromley. Nicky Kabamba with the second in added time there. Blackburn looking for an equaliser, sending the ball up to the West Brom box, but it's headed clear by Phillips. Down for Jason Malumbi, who brings the ball up to halfway, then just guides it back calmly for first Callum Stiles, and then for George Campbell. £1 million from Montreal, the centre-back. Began at Atlanta United in MLS. Getting his chance as the left-sided centre-half in this 3, with Hegem in the middle and Phillips to his right. 1-0 West Brom.
There's no number 10 now for West Brom. Malumbi's come out on this left-hand side, Jez Wallace on the right.
Hashi brought down at the edge of the area by Furlong, and that's a free kick to Blackburn Rovers. It's quite a way to the left-hand side. Furlong is going to get a second yellow card, and he's going to be off here. 2 lemons make a strawberry. Darnell Furlong gets his marching orders from David Webb for clattering into Yukio Hashi. And Blackburn, and rather West Brom, are going to have to see out the remainder of added time with 10 men. Furlong getting his marching orders for a second yellow.
Well, West Brom were in the last furlong of this game here at the Hawthorns, and Darnell Furlong has made it a lot more difficult for West Brom because it's a reckless challenge. Dance as the ball bounces up, Rashi just tries to get his head to it, and I don't know why are they giving Furlong a rousing round of applause, because he's just got sent off by a clumsy challenge leading with his arm. He could cost his team massive here. I love football fans, but honestly I don't get that.
Happens a lot, doesn't it? Barnsley 3, Burton Albion 2. David McGoldrick, freshly arrived at Oakwell, looks to have nicked a winner for the Tykes in added time there. And Stoke City looks to have beaten Derby. Divin Mubama makes it Stoke 2, Derby 1 at the Bet365. So Furlong can't watch from the mouth of the tunnel. He's got to go back to the dressing room, and he's going to look on now as Ribeiro has this free kick for Blackburn Rovers towards the left-hand corner of the penalty area. Plenty forward, of course. In it comes from Ribeiro. Up goes Gay, and it's headed behind by Diakite for a corner to Blackburn. Away to our right-hand side. Rovers still pushing for that equaliser. And it will be Ribeiro to go across and take it. We've played the 6 minutes. The goalkeeper, Tot, has come up from the back. First day of the season. The goalkeeper comes up to assist at a corner kick. In it comes from Ribeiro, into the near post. Miller went down claiming he was fouled. Stiles only heads it half clear. Tavares on the drive, wins another corner. Went over the bar, but Mowat got the connection on it, and it's another corner kick to Blackburn Rovers.
That sounds like the Royal Rumble in there for a second. There was bodies everywhere. Just seeing Max Gay just say to Ribeiro, I want you to just hang it up on the far post, and that's where Gay is gone.
In it comes from Ribeiro. Up go the heads. It's headed away by West Brom. But there won't be a West Brom player that gets to the loose ball with the keeper out of his ground. It's Tronstadt who wins it back. Out to Ribeiro. Puts another decent ball into the box. Headed up and out by Campbell. Comes out to Tavares. Doesn't get away from him. West Brom get it half clear. Goalkeeper's back on halfway. Still we play on, 97 minutes gone. West Brom hanging on here to 3 points. In it comes from Cargbo. Gay nods it down. Anywhere will do from Jason Malumbi. Just hoofs it downfield. Still we play on. Tot on halfway, the keeper. Hits a diagonal ball up to the edge of the area. Up go the heads. Good header on from Ribeiro. Too strong though. Bounces twice and over the dead ball line. And West Brom have a goal kick, and that may be that. 1-0 they lead, the West Brom.
Yeah, it's very agricultural from Blackburn Rovers, just making sure they're launching the ball into West Brom's 18-yard box. To be fair to West Brom, the three centre-halves, Phillips, Hegerman, Campbell, standing strong. That's exactly why Ryan Mason made those substitutions. He knew what was coming. West Brom down to 10 men. Josh Griffith's going to be in no hurry to take the goal kick. He'll just launch it up to the right-hand side of West Brom and see if they can win the first challenge.
98 minutes played. The referee puts his whistle to his lips. Hasn't blown for full time. I think he was playing for a foul. But anyway, here come West Brom with Hegerber down the right-hand side. 3 Blackburn players around him. And one of them takes it off his toe. So still we play on. Still we play on.
Game management, Hegerber. He's got to head right into the corner. Why is he checking back onto his left foot?
Gay flicks it on. Hedges for Blackburn. 25 yards from goal. Back to goal. Tries to knock it back for Tavares. Foul on Alex Mowat or Diakite rather by Hedges. Diakite gets a loving pat from Jason Malumbi for winning that free kick. And that may well be that now, as West Brom will take their time over getting this free kick downfield. And Stoke have a third deep in added time. Stoke 3, Derby County 1. Sorba Thomas for the Potters. Belief around the Hawthorns that the 3 points are pretty much theirs. Griffith's going to take this free kick from the midway point of his own half. The referee puts his whistle to his lips, blows for full time, and Ryan Mason has the start to his West Bromwich Albion managerial career that he so desperately craved. He's got the 3 points at home against Blackburn Rovers, courtesy of an Isaac Price goal in the 15th minute, and a rare clean sheet in 2025 for West Bromwich Albion. Blackburn knocked on the door and tried to get themselves level, making substitutions to make it difficult, but West Brom clung on, and they start the season with a home victory against the side who just missed out on the playoffs a few months ago. Full time at the Hawthorns. West Bromwich Albion 1, Blackburn Rovers 0.
Ian Danter, thank you very much. So it will be a relieved Ryan Mason. His baggies have held on to pick up all 3 points on the opening Saturday of the season. Perry Groves, we spoke before the game about the importance of him picking up a first win at home in front of your own fans. He will be delighted that his team have got over the line today.
Yep, he'll be really pleased at the way they've battled it out, because it wasn't like a very easy in the eye game. It was attritional, it was physical, we knew it was going to be, and Ryan Mason knew that his team had to stand up, and that's exactly what they did, especially in the second half where Blackburn were on top. They had sort of more of the territory. Blackburn didn't have any creativity, they didn't have any spark in the final third, but when the ball's been launched into the box, you've got to make sure that you defend them, and exactly what they did. And the damning stat from Blackburn's point of view is, for all the possession they had in the second half, they didn't have one shot on target. So it was quite comfortable again for Josh Griffiths, the West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper, because of how manfully his defence and his midfield defended in front of him.
Yeah, you feel that with the window still open, the area that Blackburn need to fill, they need to sort out, is that pinnacle edge at the top end of the pitch. Because you're right, as much as it might feel like they deserve the point there, they didn't really threaten West Brom throughout the entire game.
No, Travis and Tronstadt, had control of the game at different times. Henriksen was in the 10, didn't really show anything for Blackburn or two. Deneva obviously came off at half-time with his head injury. He had a couple of crosses in the first half, but not a spark there. Ryan Hedges was like Mr. Cellophane, didn't even know he was on the pitch. He tried to change it, Varane Ismail. He brought, obviously, Gay on, who's 6'5" up front with a presence. He didn't win any of his battles on his headers, so from Blackburn's point of view, it wasn't through lack of effort, but it was just through a lack of, as I said, there was no spark there whatsoever. And on the other side of it, West Brom had a little bit more spark in the forward areas, and especially with Isaac Price, who was playing in the 10 in the first half.
Perry, thank you very much indeed. Our thanks to Ian Danter as well.